hear me loud and clear? Check 1 2.
The RHS Instrumental Music Department, along with the Wyandotte Music Boosters, would like to recognize the senior members of the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs. The seniors have asked an escort to stand with them for recognition. Lucas Allen, with Karen and William Allen, and Sister Carla.
They're Wyandotte Cable.
Ashley Anderson, Josie Anderson, and Emerald Anderson. Michaela Arminiak, with Sarah Arminiak and brother Colin Arminiak. Alexis Brand, with Heather Ortiz and Justin Ortiz. Haley Christian, with band instructor Gerald Heimer, band instructor Carly Allen, and friend Rachel Cirkovich. Susanna Doss, with Kathy and Danny Doss. Ian Fappis, with Katie and Samuel Fappis. Slade Gashesky, with Mary and Anthony Gashesky, along with Archer and William Gashesky. Elena Jones, with Dawn and David Jones, and brother Victor Jones. Ethan Kowalski, with Laura and Jason Kowalski, along with Pamela Tuttle, grandmother. Gavin McIntyre, with Nicole Sawicki, Ben McIntyre, and Ed Sawicki. Dominic McKeever, with John McKeever, Luke Schlein, and Gerald Heimer. Brooke Nichols, with Ginger and Jerry Nichols, along with Christian, Jerry, Mandy, and Violet. Sarah Mills, with Rachel Mills, Eliana Pettigrew, and Julia Moore. Damien Ledeen, with Kristen Pavlovich, grandfather Dave Munoz, and siblings Alex and Benjamin Pavlovich. This tradition, known for generations as Band Sweetheart, has had a lasting impact on many of the lives of the students in the instrumental music department. We are excited tonight about the return of several past year Band Sweethearts and King Cuties to celebrate this year's 68th anniversary. Let's give them all a round of applause.
That whatever works for you. We can do that.
Tonight's pregame performance is dedicated to these alumni and all our music alumni and fan bases.
Sounds great.
Jim Johnson Memorial Field for Band Sweet Hunt 2021. And tonight's final regular season varsity football game between the 4th Ward Trojans of Trenton and your 4th Ward Wyandotte Bears. I would like to direct your attention to the field as the RHS marching band, known as the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs, take the field for their pregame performance. The Wyandotte Marching Chiefs represent the Roosevelt High School Instrumental Music Department and is under the direction of Martin Angelo and Assistant Director Benny Long. The Marching Chiefs is the ambassador ensemble of the RHS Instrumental Music Department, which is proud to have over 200 students active in 3 bands, percussion ensemble, 2 orchestras, and jazz ensemble. The marching band is active as a competitive marching band, as well as traveling locally, regionally, and representing the whole Wyandotte across the country. Keeping with the proud traditions of Roosevelt High School, the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs will now perform the Wyandotte alma mater, the color song.
Missed it.
She's We are ready. We're going to still go after national anthem. Yep, just give me a countdown and I'll get it to Kevin when we're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Trenton Trojans. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get on your feet for your Wyandotte Bears! Trenton has won the coin toss and is elected to receive. Wyandotte will defend the west end zone. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you all please rise and kindly remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem, which will be conducted by Junior Drum Major Maria Bora.
Okay.
Good evening,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Marching Chiefs will be singing this dance tonight, cheering
at
the
Roosevelt
RHS
High School for tonight's varsity matchup between the Trojans of Trenton High School and your Wyandotte Bears. My name is Kevin Wright, alongside the voice of Wyandotte football, George Perdue. And George, it's the final regular season game of the year. The festivities are underway. The sun is down. It's cool. It's brisk. It's football weather. Let's get ready for it.
So let's paint the picture. Both these teams have played 8 games. Both these teams are 4-4, and both these teams need to win to guarantee a spot in the playoffs. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of scenarios tonight as far as playoff seeding goes, where things stand right now as far as through Week 8, what the possibility is, where especially Wyandotte could go. I mean, really, this is probably one of the most important Week 9 games we've seen in a long time. Most other seasons, they played 6 games, they're in. Today, it's a win and you're in scenario. We haven't seen that in a while because, you know, especially at a 4-4, 5-4, you really weren't sure if you could get in. It's a little bit different with the point system being back this year for the first time in I think over 15 years. So we're excited. Great place to be, great atmosphere, great rivalry game. Looked at the stats this morning. We are 31-30-1 in the 62 games we have played against Trenton. So it's always been a hotly contested game. Don't expect anything different here, as Wyandotte will be kicking off here as we get ready to go. And away we go with the kickoff to about the 20-yard line there. And number 1 for Trenton picks it up. Tries the take the other side, but it's going to be stopped by the Bears before he can get anything going. That was number 1 for Trenton.
Jason Marshall on the return there for the Trenton Trojans after Elvis Valverde kicked it away. And something that we hadn't seen, we've seen glimpses of it on and off. The Bears able to keep Trenton deep in their own zone on this initial kickoff.
You know, we got to set the pace early, really, for tonight's game. I mean, both teams want to come out, set a tone, get some points, score on those first drives. Trenton has a long way to go here on the count of 12-yard line here. 1st and 10. And let's see, they come out here with a very tight wing T formation. A lot of running in this, and the handoff is not going to go anywhere as the Bears are going to stop the ball for no gain. That was number 5, Norgren with the run for the Trojans.
Looked like number 10, Ethan Bro, in there on the tackle, able to keep him just to a yard gain here. 2nd and 9 to go early in this first quarter.
So Trenton comes out here now and spreads the ball out with 4 receivers, shotgun formation. So again, they're going to try a bunch of different things here. They shift Norgran over to the quarterback's right side and back to pass, and quarterback keeper this time, and is going to be able to take it to the outside, and a couple of mixed tackles by the Bears, and is finally knocked out of bounds. That is number 1, Marshall, for the Trojans.
Just as we kind of seemed to get a little bit ahead of ourselves, the Bears came out strong. They came out quick. Just one mistake led to a huge Trenton gain there by the quarterback. Decided to keep it himself, and a huge gain brings it down to about the 41-yard line. 41-yard line of the Bears.
And I take that back. That was Beaudry who is the quarterback there, and it looks like they switch quarterbacks. Oh, no, sorry. Beaudry is back there. Norgran is the tailback behind him as they come back inside with only 1 receiver on this play. So this time the handoff to Norgran, who is inside handoff, not going to get much on that play. So they try to go back to the same thing they ran on that first down that they had back at the 11, and they're only able to get about a yard. But you got to watch this now. If it worked for them the first time, they're going to be looking for it again here.
Absolutely.
You got to put a linebacker on that quarterback to kind of spy him, as he could easily do that again here. We have now 3 receivers for Trenton. And Norgran again tries the middle and is not able to get much of anything. So here we come up with the first 3rd down play for Trenton of this possession.
Absolutely. Same as the first. Same, they had 2 kind of short plays. They were able to break away free on their 3rd try. We'll see what Trenton has dialed up here for 3rd down.
So we think this is probably going to be the first passing down for Trenton here. They have not tried to throw the ball yet. We thought maybe when the quarterback sneak happened before that they would throw. Obviously an obvious throwing situation, but we'll see what they decide to do with 3 receivers in a wing here for Beaudry, and the first 3rd down for Trenton. Snap is back, takes it to the right side, and he's going to run the option, keep it himself, and not get the first down. Short. Looked like he was going to keep it the whole time, and is able to, Bears able to stop him about 3 yards from the first down.
That's it. Number 51, Leo Hastings on that big tackle. Looked like quarterback was going to keep it just as he did the last time, but Wyandotte learned from their mistakes on the last drive there, and Hastings able to keep him down.
So in Bear territory, Trenton's going to try for the conversion here on 4th down, and they are going to call a timeout here before they try for this. And Trenton has a new coach this year. We can talk about that for a little bit. Bob Zarnecki, who is there for a number of years, for as long as I can remember, and I've been in this district for 20 years. I think he was well before that, stepped down. And the new coach that they have, Richard Glahn, I believe, came from Indiana, and a Hall of Fame coach there as well. So, he's going to be the new coach that Trenton has, and it's got him to a 4-4 record. Reggie Glahn is the new coach for Trenton this year, taking over for Bob Zarnecki. So, had a great career from what I understand in Indiana. Had family in this area, and that what kind of lured him to Trenton. And 4-4 year, and rich history of playoffs between these 2 teams. Trenton's only missed the playoffs once in the last 6 years. Wyandotte has made it every year since 2016. So here we go on this 4th down conversion. Under center. This time it's going to be handed off to the tailback, number 2, and he is going to be close.
And the ball is out.
And it looks like Trenton kept it and is probably going to get the first down here on that run. Yeah, that was
looked like number 2, Brock Beaudry, and yes, they are going to give him the first down there on that run. Beaudry able to bounce off a couple of tackles and able just to be able to squeak that first down for Trenton. Now we'll see what the Wyandotte defense is made of here. This the first kind of sign of any kind of trouble other than that first quarterback sneak, and we'll see if they can get the stop here.
So Trenton comes back out here, another tight formation. with a wing. And this time it's going to be the option play, and he keeps it, and a tackle there. 16, Liam Carroll. If Liam did not make that tackle, Beaudry looked like he was going to be breaking that one, and a 6-yard gain on that play. 2nd down and 4 here from the 24-yard line of the Bears.
Absolutely, and it does look, early in this first quarter, it looks like Beaudry is going to be a threat all game long here at quarterback, whether he's going to throw or he's going to keep it himself and run. His feet are going to be a real problem for the Bears.
Yeah, they've not really tried to pass yet as he rolls again to the outside. And this time he's going to pitch it at the very last second, and really not much going on that play. A pitch to Norgran, but he was so close to the out-of-bounds line anyways that basically he stepped out as soon as he had it. So we still have not seen the first pass for Trenton, and it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and 4, no gain on that play.
Looks like they're giving him a loss of 1, 3rd and 5 on the 25-yard line of the Bears.
So again, Wyandotte is still looking for that first pass. You have to respect it. They're coming out here with quad formation, 2 receivers on each side. Norgran shifts to the right side of the quarterback. Beaudry back to pass. He is going to have his first pass, and that ball is nowhere near his intended receiver. Looked like that was number 1, Jason Marshall. Here we go, 4th down and 5 again, Kevin.
That's right. They have to go for it at this point. I don't see them kind of running any kind of kicking game out there. They're going to go for it with no gain. The clock stopped here with 7:50 left in the first quarter.
So we come out back here with 4 receivers again for Beaudry. Norgran is to his left side on this play. It's snap back. He is back to pass. And there is not much he can do, and it is going to be incomplete. Pressure in his face by number 10, Ethan Brow. Turnover on downs, no damage done, bend but don't break, and no points allowed on that possession.
That is absolutely correct. Ethan Brow, actually, in the last few minutes early in this first quarter, has had quite a game. He's been hot and cold all season long, but he's got the speed and he's got the power to show out every game, and so far in this first quarter, he has done so.
And I don't believe he played last week. He was nursing a knee last week with the game against Etzel Ford. But, they need everybody on deck that they can for tonight's game. And the Bears are back again with Jason Pente as the quarterback. And it's going to be a false start on, and they're going to just rule it dead. It looks like they're going to call, encroachment penalty against Trenton. So no play, dead ball, foul, 5 yards on that first play for the Bears.
And that is a great break early in the offense for Wyandotte. Something that we haven't seen too often here all season. The breaks just have not went Wyandotte's way all season long. So it's good to see a little break early in this game.
Yeah, and a lot of times too what we've been seeing is, they've been getting good good yards, but then they get a holding penalty, or so it's good to get those positive yards on the penalties. And the handoff is to Bell, and Bell takes it on the right side, and he's going to get close, and I'm going to say they're going to give him a first down. And that is going to be the first down for the Bears as Bell gets it across the 35-yard line.
DeAndre Bell showing his power and speed as he pushes right up the middle of the offensive line, giving him a little help, and he's able to get that first down.
And I think that's what you're going to see a lot of times from the Bears today. It's going to be a lot of pounding. It's going to be Valverde. It's going to be Bell. And Bell's going to be staying out here on this next play. 2 receivers at the bottom. And there is a handoff, and this time Pente keeps it. He's going to take it to the outside, and could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
And they're basically going to end up with a gain of possibly 1 or 2 on that play. So the ball just kind of dropped there, and luckily they were able to keep the ball in their possession.
Heads up play by Jason Pente. He could have lost his cool. He did not. Was able to pick it up and even gain a yard.
So gain of 2 on the play. Ball is at the 39-yard line here for the Bears. in their yellow jerseys, the blue sleeves. I like this look. And Pente is back to pass, and they're going to call a penalty here, and it's going to be a false start on Wyandotte, pushing them back 5 yards. Trying to set up the wide receiver screen to Nathan Gonzalez, but the 5 yards will push them back and make it a 2nd and 13. As we reset here, clock is running here in the first quarter. Gorgeous fall evening. It finally feels like fall around Wyandotte. We've had unseasonably warm up until the last few days. I definitely like this type of weather here as we prepare here for the end of October. And here's the handoff to Bell, and Bell keeps it, keeps the feet moving, tries to get the outside, and is going to be tackled before he can really break that one. But he's able to make it a little bit more manageable here on 3rd down as he gains about 6 yards.
Absolutely. DeAndre Bell never quits, bounced off a few defenders, just brought down by his shoelaces. As you said, gain of 6 on 3rd down here for the Bears.
So a pretty obvious passing down here for the Bears. We'll see what Coach Adams has sent out to Pente to try to convert this here and get closer to midfield. We have 3 receivers out there for the Bears. Pente's back to pass, holds on to it, and then does get it, but it is going to be short. That was completed to number 6, Chase Klein.
Beautiful catch by Chase Klein. Tried to get away. Seemed like the refs kind of blew early, or I don't know if he stepped out of bounds as soon as he caught it.
Yeah, and Pente didn't like the first look, brought the ball back in, tried to get it out to Klein to see if he could do something, but they're going to be short, and we got our first punting situation here as Elvis Valverde is going to be back to punt. Trenton with 2 returners, which you don't usually see that too often.
No, but back to receive for Trenton, number 1, Jason Marshall, number 6, Sean Hall.
And that was almost blocked, and it's going to take a nice little wind-out bounce there inside the 30, inside the 25, and Trenton's going to be setting up, it looks like around the 23-yard line. So let's kind of paint the picture, Kevin, as far as where we're at. Each division this year will have 32 teams that make the playoffs. As of right now, going into this game, Wyandotte is positioned in the 31st spot out of 32 teams. Looking at some scenarios, talking to Coach Flipiak this morning, him and I share rooms. Obviously, if some certain teams that we've lost to, if they win, it helps us. The 2 games obviously are Woodhaven and Gibraltar, and then Waterford-Mott. So, obviously if we win, we're in. If we lose, it's going to take some luck here. And here's a handoff, and that is going to go nowhere as Beaudry is going to carry that and get, I think, about a 1-yard loss or no gain on that play.
The defensive line so far early in this game rather, has been very impressive. That tackle, 57, Daryl Harper, very intense coming off of that tackle. Let's see what they have dialed up for 2nd down. Now, as you said, Wyandotte 31 out of 32 teams to make the playoffs. Not a position that Wyandotte is very used to be in.
And like we said, it used to be 6 wins and you're in, and maybe 5 and 4 for some situations if they didn't have enough teams that made 6 wins in a division. And this time, back to pass across the middle is complete, and he's going to get out in space before he's tackled. That is number 30, Arganello, who makes the catch, and that is going to be a 1st down for Trenton as they cross over the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Number 20, Daryl Foster, able to stop a very long gain by Trenton. I feel like once Trenton is able to get deep in the Wyandotte defense, the outside defense really needs to shore it up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little crossing pattern there for Trenton, and he was able to get a big gain for it. So again, setting up in this quad formation, back to pass again this time. Doesn't see anything that he likes, and is going to keep it And they are going to call a penalty. I think they're going to call an unnecessary roughness penalty. I'm not sure. I didn't see a horse collar tackle, but we'll see what the referee who saw it on the far side is going to call here. But he threw it right away. Oh, call face mask. So we couldn't see it from up here. He was kind of close up around the head area, but referee must have saw a face mask, and that's going to add on to the end of the run there for Trenton. Trenton, I believe, was 27th in their Division 3, and most predictions say even if they were to lose this game, they're probably going to be in the playoffs. Again, we'll kind of have to wait and see, but you don't want to take that chance if you're either one of these teams, even if you do lose, to make the playoffs that way. This time, it looks like Norgran with the carry for a couple yards. He really kind of, Beaudry holds that ball in pretty close.
It is. It's quite hard to see the handoff, if he's keeping it or if he's going to hand it off to his running backs. And as we saw Ty Norgren try to run it up the middle, but that sure defensive line for the Bears able to stop him.
So Trenton was able to get pretty far the first possession into Bear territory before they made the stop on 4th down. Bears are hoping for the same thing as they're already at the 34-yard line of Wyandotte. And this time, Beaudry's going to go back to, he just cuts it right up the middle that time. And one of the things about this you kind of notice is it's just about the pursuit. If the defenders are taking out the running back, the quarterback has the lane. He did on that time. He's going to be short, though. 3rd and 1 coming up at the 28-yard line here with less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
This is where we need a big stop out of our defensive line here.
And looks like he is going to get the first down by about a yard or two. So that was Arganello, the fullback, with the carry on that play. So another set of fresh downs for Trenton as they are driving again inside the 30-yard line at the 26 of the Bears. Can the Bears make the stop like they did in the first possession?
Absolutely. The first possession, you said it absolutely on the money. Bend, don't break defense by the Bears. Let's see what they have here deep in their own zone.
Beaudry's going to try the right side again. He is going to pitch it out now this time, and it looks like Norgran, after he puts a shoulder down, is going to get about a 5-6 yard gain on that play. Lowers his shoulder and gets a pretty good gain there on first down.
Another capacity crowd here at Jim Johnston Field at Roosevelt High School. The whole city comes out to support their Bears. It's clear, brisk night, 48 degrees finally.
I absolutely love it. Good sleeping weather. All right, Trent sets up here with 4 receivers on this second down play. Beaudry is going to try to keep it again this time and go up the field, and is going to be tackled eventually by number 5, DeAndre Bell, but not before he gets another first down. Close. We're not going to call it first and goal. He's at the 11. But Trenton is knocking on the door. Bears need something, a stop, a turnover. And this might be the last play of the first quarter as they start the clock again after that first down. We'll see if Trenton is content or if they want to run one more play here before the end of the first quarter. And back to pass. Doesn't see much of anything and tries across the middle. The pass falls incomplete, and we are going to end the first quarter here with a 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. No score at the end of the first quarter. Kevin, What are some of your thoughts here as we end the first?
We kind of seen the tale of two Bears teams. We've seen a very stout defensive line where Trenton's not able to gain a yard. They lose yards. But as soon as they're able to get in the backfield of the Bears, they are gone. So it's something that they've got to really shore up. They've got to try to find an answer for Boudry, the quarterback, getting free. Also, their running backs able to bounce off some defenders and get in the backfield.
Yeah, I think here the talk is going to be, listen, guys, we need something here. We got to short up. They're probably going to run some sort of an option. They're possibly come back to that crossing route that they ran to get that big gain. Something that doesn't, not a high risk situation. They're going to look for something that's obviously going to be, get them 5 or 6 yards here on second down. But again, you just got to play smart, play within your area. It's one thing when I talked to Coach Adams this week, he kept hinting at, you just got to play within the area that you have. You can't try to do too much in one play. That's right.
And we have seen some apprehension out of the quarterback Boudry to throw, and when he does throw, not making the best of decisions in his throwing game. So I think you can kind of game plan around that. Game plan for the running game to kind of try to stop those big gains that Trenton's been able to get.
And Trenton's coming back out again with 4 wide receivers. Watch number 30 here. Arganello possibly coming across the middle. We'll see what they decide to do here. And back to pass, and here is pressure. He's going to go back out again, and this time throws it up, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wow.
He had him.
The side judge telling him that he was caught out of bounds. Brought it down out of bounds. A huge break for the Bears.
And that's one of the things you got to kind of watch out for. Again, you got to, he was obviously rolling out to the right side, tried back across. Watch for something, again, very similar, but you got to get in there and put somebody in his face.
That's right. And he was able to get in his face. It was a horrible throw. Just able to bring it in. Fortunately for the Bears, it was out of bounds. And now we have a 3rd and not goal.
So 3rd and 10 from the 11 here as Trenton tries to get something, either something a little bit closer or a touchdown on this play. See if the Bears send some help in here. And they do send on a blitz. And here is number 7. And he gets the ball and scores. That is Hall for Trenton, 6-0.
Well, the Bears did just what I said. They planned for a run kind of up the middle. They brought the heat, but Josh Hall was able to get out free, get into the end zone for 6 for the Trenton Trojans.
Yeah, just one of those plays where you kind of stay close to the line of scrimmage on like a little bit of an outside run or outside release. He was there, had some blockers in front, walked in for the touchdown. And that is good. And with 11:42 left here in the second quarter, Trojans 7, Bears nothing. And the Bears are going to be coming out here for only their second possession so far of the half after getting a couple first downs in that first drive and before it stalled, looking to getting something going here.
Absolutely. They have to, in this drive, they have to stay away from the penalties. The offensive penalties, we didn't see very many, but we did see, the defensive penalty giving Trenton some yardage. We got to stay away from the penalties, keep their offense on the field, chip away from the Trenton Trojans, and put 6 on the board. They have to at this point.
Tonight is also Band Sweetheart Night.
It
one
is.
of the, it seems like every home game is something. We've had the Blackout Cancer game, homecoming. We've had, Parent Night, and tonight is Band Sweethearts, which is, from my understanding, has been around since the 1950s,
That's
I believe.
Right. 1953 was the first time that they had a Band Sweetheart tradition. And they continue it tonight at halftime. Back kicking for the Trojans, number 30, Charlie Arganello.
And this ball kind of bounces and is touched by Bell, but it's going to be brought up. And decent field position as the Bears get to about the 30-yard line. So the Bears start their second possession at the 30. looking to do what Trenton just did. Take it down the field, take some time. Trenton took a lot of time off the clock there.
Absolutely.
On that drive. And
as you said, I mean, we only had one offensive drive that whole first quarter. Let's see if Wyandotte can dial up the same plan and chip away at these Trojans, who now lead 7-0 with 11:35 in the second quarter.
So Pente brings his offensive crew back out here. He's going to have 2 receivers on this play. It looks like Valverde is now in at tailback with Michael Staticus. And not much going there. It looked like basically Trenton was running a run blitz there. That was number 52.
Michael Alexander there.
Yeah, who basically came in and read that. Yes.
He got in on the quick blitz. No chance for Elvis Valverde there. Looks like a loss of 3 for second down for the Bears, as Jason Pente looks to regroup and bring his offense back out.
So here we go with the second 13 here. Valverde is still in the backfield. The pitch is going to be to him, and he is going to get the yards back that he lost on the last play, but it's going to set up a 3rd down and 10 here. Again, the worst thing you could do right now is give the ball right back to Trenton.
That's right.
On going a 3 and out. And I know that they don't want to do that, but you also want to be smart too and try to pick up this 1st down. So let's see what it has dialed up. We're going to call it a 3rd and 9 here. So we got 4 yards on the last play.
Kind of a clear passing down here for Pente.
So ball's back. Pente is going to get it out there, and it's going to be incomplete to Valverde. Would have had a hard time getting the 1st down. He did have a trailer on him and some safety help, but 3 and out for the Bears. Trenton is going to get the ball right back here after they scored the touchdown.
And as you said, George, these 3 and outs, we have to stay away from the 3 and outs. Have to come up with some answer for Trenton's defense.
Good punt there. It's going to take a bounce at about the 38 and be down at about the 35, 36 yard line there. So Liam Carroll downs the ball. Trenton comes right back out on the field. This time I'm sure that, you know, and again, the hard part is a lot of these guys are playing on both sides of the ball. So, you know, you're out there for that long defensive possession. Now, you know, on offense can't do much. Now you go right back on defense. So, you know, again, you got to be smart and try not to let them take the ball past your side of the 50 here. It's time for them to have a 3 and out.
And you said it. You said it. You know, we've got kids playing on both sides of the ball, and it's not an excuse. But Wyandotte has been really bitten by the injury bug, the sickness bug. It kind of is the never-ending story here in Wyandotte.
So Beaudry comes back out here under center. He's going to hand the ball, and the ball is on the ground. He picks it back up, but he is going to be taken down for a loss on the play. So fumble, snap, and that's the one disadvantage to trying to run that. Going to be taken for about loss of 3 on the play, and that's the positive, I guess, or negative, that you could say that the Bears needed on this first play of this possession.
That's right. I mean, we've talked about it all game, is breaks. We haven't seen any good breaks. I've seen a couple this game, but the Bears now have to capitalize on those breaks.
Trenton comes out now in a 3 wide receiver formation, 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Beaudry takes it, run to the right side, has Norgon with him. Just going to pitch it out there to him, basically, and the Bears are going to sniff that out, and it's only going to gain about 3 yards on that play. So nice job on second down, setting up a 3rd and long.
Absolutely. It's a play that we've seen kind of frequently from Trenton, that kind of pitch out. Beaudry is not very confident with passing it deep downfield.
Those, you know, to me, those are more like extended handoffs. You know, basically when you kind of throw those out there, it's basically what that is. we'll see what they come up with here as they're going to call a 3rd and 9 for 37. So again, huge stop here needed for the Bears to stop any momentum that Trenton has. 4 receivers for Trenton. Beaudry takes it back, looks to his right, throws it out there, and that ball's going to be caught, but pushed out of bounds, and it's going to be a 4th down. Now, 4th and 3 after that completion, and Trenton looks like they are going to punt the ball. So nice job there by the Bears. A little bit too close in their zone for comfort to try to go for it on 4th down, even though they've already gone for it twice on 4th down.
That's right. This will be the first time that we see them punt away. And that looks like number 6, Austin Toth, is the punter for Trenton. And back receiving for the Bears, number 5, DeAndre Bell.
So ball is back, goes on the ground a little bit, end over end kick. Bell takes it on the fly. He brings it up the field and couldn't get past the guy. It's going to be stopped at the 36-yard line. Looked promising for a second there as it opened up.
Just couldn't get past number 15, Dominic Calloway there. Able to grab him by the hips, bring him down. And it looks like the ball will be marked right at the 36-yard line of Wyandotte.
Yeah, there's 7:29, so 7.5 we'll call it left here in the second quarter. This is the time. 5-6 minute possession. Take it down the field. Put some points on the board. Remember, Wyandotte would get the ball to start the second half as well, so that's a nice little consideration to think about here as we start the Bears' 3rd possession of the game. Pente takes a snap. He's going to throw it up, and he's got a receiver open, and that's going to be caught. Nathan Gonzalez, and he tries to break away before he gets some help, and that is going to be tackled at the 25-yard line. That is the positive play the Bears need on offense.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Bears. Pente able to finally air it out to Nathaniel Gonzalez, number 14, bring it in for the first down, and this crowd is now into this game. Let's see if the Bears can now capitalize. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
And the cornerback from Trenton looked like he had a good read on it at first, so you're kind of watching it, and then Gonzalez kind of came back for it, caught it, tried to break away, couldn't get away from the other 2 defenders. So the Bears are in business on the 25-yard line here. Pente is going to hand the ball off to Bell, and Bell is going to move the pile for at least 3 or 4 yards there.
That is DeAndre Bell football right there. His feet never stop moving. We've said that all season long. His feet never stop moving until he hears that whistle, and it's very hard to bring Bell down.
And you're seeing Pente gain a little more confidence, too. The first game we saw him was that homecoming game. I mean, a tall task to go against Woodhaven.
Absolutely.
Played well last week against Edsel Ford. So, as we're getting now into the 3rd game here, he's definitely building some confidence. Staticus and Bell remain out there as the fullback-tailback combination. And they're going to, hold on. They're going to call a timeout for the Bears. So right before, didn't like what they saw there. So 2nd down and 7 coming up on the 22-yard line as we get our first train coming through of the evening. And
it can't be understated how gorgeous it is tonight. Clear skies, cool temperatures. It is football in Wyandotte. It's a beautiful night. Kevin Wright alongside George Perdue, and along with us, recent Wyandotte favorite and retiree, Tony Jesu. Retirement treating him very well.
Yeah, kind of did a little stop by here. Mr. Jesu, long time Wyandotte educator, just recently retired. Has always had a big smile on his face, though, every time I've seen him since he's retired. So I don't know what that means, but we're glad he's in here with us as well as the Bears set up here for this 2nd down and 7. So balls hand off to Bell, and he gets some room, and he takes it across the 20. So he's going to set up for about a 3rd and 5 here.
That's right.
Looked like he had a little bit more option there and tried to cut it to the outside. So 3rd and 5 coming up here for the Bears, needing something on this possession here as they are now almost in the red zone.
Looked like Coach Ricky Dennis giving DeAndre Bell a little bit of a talking to there after that run. Don't know if he didn't like what he saw or did like what he saw, but let's see if Bell takes those notes. And
so let's see what the Bears have set up here on offense. Heavy formation. You got twins to the top of the screen. And another timeout here. This time, they're going to call delay of game on the offense. Now, the interesting thing about that is that they never, usually a referee gives you the countdown, and I did not see the referee do that. I mean, I might not have been looking in the back there, but I did not see the referee do the countdown.
No, I definitely think the coaching staff has a little bit of a gripe there on that 5-yard penalty, bringing him back to what is essentially the original line of scrimmage on 3rd down.
So here we go here, 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. Three wide receivers for the Bears. Pente is back to pass, and he's going to put it up. And, at the very last second, the ball is tipped away. Chase Klein had a read on it. At the very last second, the pass was deflected. 4th and 10 at the 25.
Looked like number 33, Xavier Gradnazak, just able to get his fingertips on that ball, deflected away, brings up 4th down for the Bears.
So that was so close. That's the game of inches that we talk about every once in a while as far as making that. And it looks like the Bears are going to go for it here. They have kicked the ball field goal-wise before at this point, but the Bears are going to stay on the field and try to get the 1st down. Pente back to pass. And that is incomplete. Pass intended for DeAndre Bell. Wyandotte is not able to put any points on the board. Trenton gets the ball at the 25-yard line.
Looked like Jason Pente got a little excited on that throw, put a little bit too much heat on it for DeAndre Bell. And now the Trenton Trojans take over deep in their own zone. And it is up now to the Wyandotte defense to give an answer to the Trenton Trojans.
So Wyandotte was able to stop them last time. You're going to need that here. 5 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. Again, a turnover, a fumble, something would be nice here to kind of get the ball back. And the handoff is going to be to the inside there, and not much going on for Trenton. Looked like Norgran was the running back on that play. We also appreciate, too, Kevin, all the people listening tonight is on Wyandotte Cable and on YouTube. It's appreciative that you tune into us. I know we heard back some feedback before from some of the people at the homecoming game. So
that's right.
We hope that we can bring the game to you for those of you that are not able to be with us tonight on this beautiful fall evening. And then we appreciate you giving us your time. So here we go on the 2nd and 7 here at the 28-yard line. Beaudry's going to keep it, looks like himself. No intention of passing it. And nice job there. Falls forward. Tackled by Ethan Bro. Going to set up a 3rd down and about 3, it looks like.
Beaudry brought down hard by Ethan Bro. Maybe taught him a little lesson about running up the middle against the likes of Bro. 3rd down and 2 to go, with the clock running with about 4 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. 7-0 Trenton.
And Trenton doesn't like what they see on that play. They are going to call a timeout here. They look like they were trying to run a player out and decided to call a timeout before trying anything. So some of the possible scenarios that I'm hearing and looking at some of the stuff online, if the Bears win, two possible scenarios. Temperance Bedford, which we've seen them before. We've played them before, the Kicking Mules. A couple times in some playoff games we go in there. Or Livonia Franklin, I believe, would be the other team that I'm hearing. So not a lot of Division II teams downriver. They're either Division I or kind of Division III. Like, Woodhaven kind of is Division I, but Carlson's Division III. Trenton would be Division III. So here we go here, 3rd and 2 and it's going to be a handoff to Norgrand, and it's going to be close. They do put him past 35-yard line, and that is going to be enough, it looks like, for a first down.
It's a favorable spot there for the Trojans.
Did fall forward
right there on 35, but
it looked like he fell forward. Again, on a judgment, on a call like that, it's 9 times out of 10 is going to usually go to the back. So fresh set of downs here, which definitely hurts the Bears' chances of trying to do something before halftime as the clock continues to run. 3:45 here in the second. So Trenton comes in the tight wing formation, sets the receiver in motion, and this time Norgrand tries it again on the handoff and is maybe only going to get about 2 yards there.
We've seen it all game long. The defensive line up front has been stout. They've been able to kind of have an answer for the running game up the middle for the Trojans. It's when they get to the outside that Wyandotte has an issue, and we'll see now if they have an answer for it.
So as we come up here, 2nd and 8, Trenton goes back to their 3-receiver formation. And this time, we have an option play. Beaudry keeps it, and he's got a cross back on the other side. Gets by one, has some room to go, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So he didn't like what he saw on the right-hand side, came back to the left, it was open, and he takes it inside to the 32-yard line. Again, the play you do not want to give up there, letting them basically get back down into the...
It looks to be an over-pursuit situation. The defense has their mind made up of where that quarterback is going to run. He's able to think on his feet and use those feet to get back to the other side.
So back to pass. Looks like he wants to try to air it out. Breaks past one, breaks past two, and before he's finally pushed out of bounds. So 2 Bears had him in his grasp and could not take him down, and is able to get at least about 4 yards on that play. Yeah,
absolutely. The feet and the knowledge of Beaudry has kind of been the death nail for the Bears so far. We're lucky the score's only 7-0 so far.
So the clock stops there on the out-of-bounds play. Trenton has its 2nd down and 5 at the 27-yard line. Beaudry takes a snap back. He's going to look to pass again on this time. Does have somebody coming in, and this time the Bears do take him down. So last time broke away from it. This time Lou Peterson was able to take him down for the sack. 3rd and 8 at the 30. Clock continues to run here, but a chance for the Bears to stop the bleeding and at least keep it no worse than a 7-0 game, unless Trenton decides to go for it on 4th down. Yeah. But we're going to call a timeout here. So again, how did the Bears get to this point? It's kind of been a back and forth type of season. Opened up with 2 losses against Allen Park and Waterford Mott. Came back with 2 wins. Of course, we've seen it, some struggles against some of the teams that have done pretty well in downriver this year. Allen Park, Carlson, Woodhaven, able to beat Lincoln Park, Edsel Ford, Taylor, and Southgate. That's how we
yeah.
got to this point, which as the season kind of went on, you kind of thought that this was going to be the one that, you really would kind of see what the team was going to be made out of as far as, a chance to make the playoffs.
And coming into this season, too, the expectations weren't as high as they had been in other seasons. This was a season of rebuilding, reloading, so we knew that there would be some struggles against some of the higher echelon teams.
So here we go as the 3rd and 8 sets up. Boger's going to be back to pass, looks to his right, has some pressure, tries to break away from it, gets out to the outside, and this ball's going to be, he's going to be hit by Ethan Bro as he releases it. And let's see if they're going to go for a 4th down, but great hit by Bro to knock that ball out of bounds.
The speed of Ethan Bro has been on display all game long so far, and throughout the season he is quick, and the quarterback for Trenton paid the price on that play.
So the Trojans are going to go for it here with 2:02 left, 4th and 8, 4 wide receivers. Beaudry's back to pass. Doesn't have much pressure, has a lot of time, looks to his left, throws over the middle, and that's going to be caught. Caught by number 30, Arganello, the fullback, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
Wyandotte has got to come up with an answer. Sometimes they're just not able to get free in the backfield. There are sometimes here and there they're able to get free, but all in all, when the quarterback Boudry.
And here's Boudry back now, looks to his left, has a couple receivers, going to throw to the end zone, and that is going to be enough for a Trenton touchdown. Number 1, Marshall catches it. And the Trojans the minute and a half left have extended the lead to 13-0, and that was a pretty simple pitch and catch there for the Trojans.
That's it. Now, the Bears have to do their best to not get down on themselves. We have a minute and a half left until halftime. Go into the locker room, regroup, know that you're going to get the ball back in the second half, and go out with some confidence in the second half. Now only down 14-0. I know it sounds like a lot here in the first half, but 14-0 is not insurmountable at this point.
No, we'll see what they decide to do. Only 1 timeout left here for the Bears before halftime. So we'll see what they decide to do. If they want to come out here and throw the ball a little bit before halftime or not.
A good return by DeAndre Bell would do the Bears some good. He's shown glimpses of able to get some good yardage, but we need some great yardage here on this return.
Yeah, so let's see what the Bears have dialed up here on special teams. Trenton did not really want to kick it deep last time. We'll see what they decide to do here. And again, I mean, this is, I'm sure the talk at halftime is going to be is leave it all on the field. I mean, this might be it for the season, And he kind of knew that going into this week as well. Valverde and Bell back for the Bears. And this one is kicked deep and out of bounds. So the Bears will take the ball at the 35-yard line with 1:35 left to go in the first half. They showed some promise last possession. They got the ball down to about the 25-yard line. If Trenton was not able to move it, a penalty pushed them back and pushed them a little bit out of their comfort zone there. So
if Wyandotte is able to be efficient on this drive, 1:35 is a lot of football to play here in this first half.
Yeah, so let's see what Coach Adams has dialed up here as we get ready to see the last 1:35 here. And like we've said, Pente has shown a much better ball than from what we saw the last home game against Woodhaven.
And that comes with experience. I mean, he's got 3 games under his belt now, and Let's see what he has dialed up now. Here we go.
So this one's going to be out to Bro, and he makes the catch across the 40, lowers his shoulder, going to stay in bounds, but get about 7 yards there. So let's see let's see how the Bears decide to do this here.
Very nice pitch and catch from Pente to Bro.
And only one timeout left here for the Bears. So clock does stop on a first down. And another catch here, this time by Nathan Gonzalez. So there's the first down.
There you go. Very good.
And only took about 28 seconds off the clock there, and they're almost at midfield. So.
It looks like Pente's been cool, calm, and collected. He knows the job at hand so far.
Pente back to pass again, and this one is going to be, almost intercepted. Number 2, Beaudry, almost intercepted the ball.
Very important for Pente to now shake that off. Don't let that get in your head as the clock is now stopped with exactly 1 minute left, down 14 in the first half.
And Pente is going to get away from one, and he's going to be sacked for a loss of about 6 yards on that play. And the Bears are going to call their last timeout here with 42 seconds left.
Looks like Trenton took that timeout, took their final timeout.
Oh, okay, let's check that then. It'll be Trenton. And it's going to be a long third down here coming up for the Bears. Got to be smart here, too. At halftime, you're going to see some of the band festivities celebrating this band Sweetheart Week here as kind of like another spirit week. The band members dress up in different, they have different themes throughout the week. I know that some of the kids I talked to in class are very excited. Some of the freshmen, that's the first time ever participating, really have enjoyed this. And some of the kids that haven't really had to do this because of games that didn't take place last year. So.
Right, and they're happy. Everyone's happy to be back in school and getting back to some sort of normalcy as now Pente takes over.
So 3rd and 17 here, and oh no, a ball gets put on the ground. And I'm not sure who has it here. That might be a Trenton ball.
Bears do recover on that play, but
yeah, so that was basically an inside handoff there to the fullback. They're going to run the clock, and this will probably be it here.
Get a playoff here.
Unless the Bears are just going to throw it up here on 4th down. We'll see what they decide to do. And Pente breaks away from a couple, and he is going to be taken down to
There's a flag on the play, though.
And it looks like that's probably going to be a holding penalty. So they are going to call holding. That will end, I believe, here. We'll wait for the official call. So, yeah, so that will end the first half on the holding call. So at the end of the first half, the Trenton Trojans 14, the Wyandotte Bears nothing. We hope you enjoy the halftime show, and we'll be back to start the second half after that is over with. So we'll see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is once again my pleasure to welcome to the field the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs under the direction of Mark D'Angelo and Assistant Director Benny Wong. The drum majors are Brooke Mickle, Damian Medini, Maria Bora, and Chris Gervasi. Tonight, we are recognizing a 68-year-old tradition here at Roosevelt High School known as Band Sweetheart. The history of the Wyandotte Instrumental Music Department is a wonderful story. The department's first public performance was 94 years ago under the direction of C.B. Andrews in February 1927 and was sponsored by the Wyandotte Exchange Club. Over the years, many students have gone on to become music teachers and leaders in the field of music performance around the country, as well as active community members and arts supporters. The tradition of Band Sweetheart began in 1953 under the direction of the late band director Kent Hoyer. This tradition has been honored by generations inside and outside the RHS Music Department and is now a tradition shared with band programs across the country. Our halftime presentation tonight will commemorate this tradition here at RHS. Similar to homecoming, the Instrumental Music Department has chosen a court to represent them at tonight's game. They call this the Band Sweetheart Court. At this time, the 2021 Band Sweetheart Court will be introduced on the field. This year's candidates were chosen by their peers to represent them in the 2021 Band Sweetheart Court. They will be led to the field by last year's Band Sweetheart, Jaden Schroeder, and King Cutie Luke Schleiny. Once again, let's welcome back to the field 2020 Band Sweetheart Jaden Schroeder and King Cutie Luke Schleiny. Jaden Schroeder is the daughter of Vinnie Schroeder and Jocelyn Canoe, and bonus daughter of Kenny Canoe, as well as the sister of Blake Schroeder. As of now, she is working at Garrotech CNC Machining and taking college classes at Henry Ford. Her hobbies include riding her bike, listening to so much music, and hanging out with her family and friends. Luke Schleining is the son of Eric and Heidi Schleining, as well as brother to Caden Schleining. During his time at RHS, he participated in various music groups such as the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs, Ravasi Chorale, a cappella choir, and the RHS Percussion Ensemble. He enjoys composing and arranging, drumming, singing, and spending time with those close to him. He is currently enrolled at Eastern Michigan University, where he studies vocal music education and where he participates in the EMU Marching Band and the EMU Choir. He is very happy to be back to crown the next King Cutie and would like to give a special thanks to Kathleen Kane, Mark D'Angelo, Gerald Heimer, and all of the other teachers who believed in his development. Now for this year's Band Sweetheart Court, Brooke Mickle and Keelan Ruffner. Brooke is the daughter of Jerry Mickle and Ginger Mickle and sister to Violet, Christian, Mandy, and Jerry. She is the head drum major of the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs, president of the Trojans National Music Honor Society. She is also the business editor of the Y-High Yearbook and is a member of Symphony Band and Jazz Ensemble. She enjoys hanging out with her boyfriend of 3 years, Trent, working as head hostess at Carrabba's Italian Grill and singing 2000s hits on Bus 1. She plans on getting an associate's degree from Henry Ford Community College in pre-pharmacy, then continuing her professional pharmacy degree at the University of Toledo. Keelan Ruffner is the son of Mary and Joe Ruffner. He is a member of the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs, Symphony Band, Concert Band, and is captain of the chess club. Hobbies include shaking it out, mining diamonds in Minecraft, and getting daily Fortnite dubs. In the near future, he's considering studying to be a chess master. He would like to give a shout out to the low brass section and Keelan Ruffner. Haley Christian and Peter Ramirez. Haley is the daughter of James Christian and Mary McDonald. She is the unofficial bass drum section leader and is a member of Percussion Ensemble, Ravasi, a cappella choir, concert choir, and RHS Theater. Hobbies include singing and playing the drum. Next year, she is considering going to Fair State University to get a degree in pre-pharmacy. Peter Ramirez is the son of Pedro and Veronica Ramirez. He is a section leader of the saxophones. He is also a member of Symphony Band, Jazz Ensemble, and the rowing team. Hobbies include playing saxophone, baking, and petting his dog. Next year he's considering a biology degree and later to become a marine biologist. Elena Jones and Ian Fappis. Elena is the daughter of Dave and Dawn Jones. She is one of the senior color guard captains. She is also a member of Ravasi, a cappella choir, concert choir, RHS theater, NHS, and rowing. Her hobbies include hanging out with her boyfriend Ian and her cat. She is unsure of what she's pursuing next year. Ian Fappis is the son of Samuel and Katrina Fappis. He is one of the senior drum captains and is a member of Percussion Ensemble, RHS Jazz, and Symphony Band and Chamber Strings. Hobbies include playing drums and hanging out with his girlfriend Elena. He is unsure of what he is pursuing next year besides joining a drum line. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the crowning of the 2021 King Cutie, Mr. Keelan Ruffner. And now for the crowning of the 2021 Band Sweetheart, Miss Brooke Mickle. Each year during Band Sweetheart, the Instrumental Music Department hosts what we call Sweet Week. Throughout the week, members of each section teamed up to demonstrate their section spirit through a series of Spirit Week activities. At this time, we will award the 2021 Section Award. This 2021 Band Sweetheart Most Spirited Section Award goes to the High Brass Section. And there is a special mention to the flute section. The Wyandotte Marching Chiefs would now like to dedicate their 2021 halftime and competition show, Red, to this year's Band Sweetheart and King Cutie. Drum majors, Brooke Mickle, Damian Medini, Maria Bora, and Chris Gervasi. The man may take the field for your 2021 Band Sweetheart performance. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank all of you for participating in this year's Band Sweetheart celebration. The band would like to say a special thank you to our Band Sweetheart Music Booster chairperson, Mrs. Jennifer Byron. The marching band staff includes music composition Steve Martin, owner and CEO of Gary P. Gilroy Music Publishing. Percussion composition Aaron Hines and Shelley Lee. Drill design John Bay. Assistant director Benny Wong. Instructors include woodwinds Alan Jones, Katie Scanlon, Lauren Balega. Brass Phil Rosas, Brian Weisort, Carter Coyne, Austin Torres. Percussion Carly Allen, Luke Schleining, Troy Gibson, Jameis Coates, Robert Thorburn. Color guard Shannon Tyrabon, Mackenzie Cartwright, Nicholas Stone, Maddie Cannon, Kate Osmolski, Isabel Lesky, Sarah Baker, Gabby Giamola. Visual coordinator Frank Tyrabon. Prop and equipment assistant Dalton Ainskoff. Uniform coordinator Helen Tyrabon. Known as the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs, the 135-member marching band serves as the ambassador ensemble for the entire instrumental music program at Roosevelt High School and the Wyandotte community. In addition to performing at all home football games, the band makes regular appearances at local and regional parades. The band also participates in Scholastic Marching Band and Michigan Competing Band Association invitations and is an 8-time MCBA state finalist. The Marching Chiefs.
Are you interested in television production? If so, you can become a volunteer at the Wyandotte Cable Studio. Located on the 3rd floor of City Hall, our staff and volunteers produce an exciting and informative array of programming that includes Up, Down, and Around Town, JC's TV, and The Bears Den. The Wyandotte Cable Studio features HD video cameras, LED lights, a powerful editing suite, and a versatile video switcher. Volunteer, meet new people, create a show. For more information, call 734-324-7136. Or email cablestudio@wyan.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of Bears football. Kevin Wright alongside George Perdue for this second half here at Jim Johnston Field at Roosevelt High School. And we've just seen the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs exit the field after their band Sweetheart festivities. Keelan Ruffner and Brooke Mickle.
Were crowned, and it was a beautiful halftime performance.
That's
possibly
right.
the last halftime performance of the year, because even if the Bears make the playoffs, we'll probably not have a home game.
That's right.
And this is, it's now or never time, really, in the second half. We were talking about a little bit at halftime, the importance of, doing something here in this first possession. You have the ball to start the second half. You have to do something here for the Bears. I'm sure they were kind of mapping out those first 5 or 6 plays they want to run. This is the time to do it. If it doesn't happen now, the way Trenton is held onto the ball control-wise, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to come
You've hit
back.
the nail right on the head, George. It was the tale of two teams, as it's been all season long. You've got a stout defensive line that was able to get some really good stops there as the Trenton Trojans tried to run it up the middle. Defensive line able to stop them. If the Trenton Trojans tried to get out to the outside and some deep passing tries, yards for days for the Trojans.
Yeah, so I think that, obviously it's, whatever you have left in the bag of tricks, you might want to bring that out here in the last half, possibly at home for this year. We'll see what the Bears have dialed up, and you can tell it's fall. We've closed the windows in the Bear booth. The first time we've done that all year, is we've enjoyed the pretty warm weather, but Kevin was complaining, and me being the Arctic man that I am, and I like the cold here as I wear my tank top. We decided to bring the windows down. I wanted to protect Kevin, not have him shiver. We don't want to hear him shivering here at the start of the second half.
I do not want you to come on this program and lie to the people of Wyandotte and all around the world on YouTube. You are in your parka, your gloves, your hat, your mittens, your hot cocoa. First time all season that it's been below 50 degrees, but it's a beautiful night still for Wyandotte football. It is a beautiful, clear night. Capacity crowd here at Jim Johnston Field at Roosevelt High School as both teams get ready to start this second half. And it has been it's been quite a game. And as we've said all game long, the Bears need to have a good showing. They're on the cusp of making the playoffs, as you said earlier. Number 31, team number 31 out of 32 teams that will make the MHSAA high school football playoffs, and we need an answer here in the second half, and in a bad way. Now, if you look at the score, 14-0, you'd say, it's a big lead, but not insurmountable for these Bears.
No, I think a couple things need to happen, though. Obviously, offensively, they're going to have to keep us a possession. They're going to have to score here early on. You don't want to go down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. So, some kind of points in the third quarter are going to be huge for them.
Absolutely. We'll see what Jason Pente has here dialed up for the second half. He was able to get a few good throws, a couple good defensive plays by Trenton, but we did see some good throws from Pente. We saw DeAndre Bell with his no-quit attitude all of that first half. His feet never stopped moving as he every time he got the ball, didn't stop until the whistle blew. And we are about to get our second half underway as number 30, Charlie Arganello for the Trenton Trojans, back to kick and back deep to receive Elvis Valverde and DeAndre Bell. And Arganello gets his team ready, and we are underway for our second half.
And here comes, it looks like Valverde with it as he takes it up, gets some room here, runs into his own man, but does get it out to the 40-yard line. So Bears will start their first possession of the second half on the 40-yard line here, looking to put some points on the board.
And that's right. Elvis Valverde, very good return. Had a little something going until he ran into his own man. And now we'll see what Jason Pente has to offer as the Bears take over on their own 40-yard line.
And it looks like Bell and Staticus will come out here as the running back, fullback tandem to start the second half, very similar to what we saw start of the first half here in this game. So the handoff to Bell, and he gets ahead of steam up the middle, and he's going to get a nice run on first down for, looks like about at least 8 yards there. Nice run for Bell on that first carry.
Absolutely. Just what the doctor ordered for the Bears there. DeAndre Bell. And it looked like he was brought down by number 5, Ty Norgren, who we've said his name a few times there on defense for the Trojans. 2nd and 8 to go, or 2nd and 2 to go. 8-yard gain for the Bears. 11:20 in this third quarter.
So we have split backs now for Pente with Bell and Static is still out there. 2 receivers to the top of the screen, and this time, and it looks we have movement on both sides. I think Trent went first though, and they are going to call encroachment on Trent. So that's going to give him a first down. So 5 yards here takes him across midfield. Positive yardage for the Bears.
Absolutely.
Keep moving down that field.
Very promising first couple plays for the Bears as they come out of the locker room for the second half.
And we get ready here now with a pistol formation with Bell behind Pente and 2 receivers to the top of the screen. This time handoff again to Bell, and he takes it around, gets ahead of steam going, and gets about 5 yards there. So some positive run here early on for Bell. Line is getting some push, and it's exactly what they need to be able to make a statement here at the start of the second half.
Absolutely. Number 21, Joaquin Maldonado there on the tackle on DeAndre Bell. 2nd down and 5 to go for the Bears.
Again, right back to that same pistol formation for the Bears. Bell behind Pente. Line getting a much better push than they did to start the first half. This time, Bell breaks out, cuts it right back inside, stays on his feet, and that's going to be enough for another Bears first down. So nice runs. Nice back-to-back possessions here to start the second half as the Bears have moved it inside Trenton territory at the 36-yard line.
Absolutely. DeAndre Bell kind of taking this team on his back early in this third quarter. And, if it's working, you should stay with DeAndre Bell and see what he's got.
And here we go. Pente takes the ball and gives it to Bell, and he's going to keep pushing and pushing. And doesn't want to go down. Is going to get about 4 yards. So Bell is running with conviction to start the second half.
Absolutely no quit in DeAndre Bell. He was brought down by number 52, Michael Alexander of Trenton.
We'd like to say hello to our viewers as well in our sister city of Komaki, Japan that are watching tonight, or should I say this morning. It is actually 9:23 a.m. Saturday in Komaki, Japan. So
that's right.
Say hello, konnichiwa, to our viewers in Japan.
That's
that
right. You've got friends all over the world. It was Luxembourg 2 weeks ago.
And and the snap is back, and Pente, oh no, and Trent picks it up, and nobody is going to stop number 20, and just like that, Trenton goes up 20-0. Just looked like a bad snap. Pente tried to recover it back in, was not able to do it. And just as the Bears had something positive going, it was wiped out on that fumble return for a touchdown.
That's it. There's nothing much you can really say about that play other than the bad snap. Pente unable to pick it up and haul it in, and there's got to be some fundamental issue on that. He could have fallen down. He tried to pick it up and make something out of it, but just unable to. And number 20, Max Rickman, able to bring it in for Trenton.
So Trenton's looking to go up now 21-0, and that kick is up, and that kick is good. And 9:05 left here in the third quarter. The score now is 21-0 Trenton. Just tough. I mean, that's just a tough. You're driving the ball. You're making positive plays, and that just takes all the wind out of your sails.
It does, but and I've said this before, the Bears can now not get down. They cannot let that get in their head, regroup, bring it back down. They've shown that they have the ability to kind of chip away at the Trojans and get some positive yardage. Can they now regroup, bring it back down, and get some points on the board in this third quarter? Looks like Valverde and Bell still back to receive as number 30, Arganello, back to kick for the Trojans.
Still a lot of time left, though. I mean, 9 minutes left, 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. You can't, things can turn pretty quickly in a game, but Bears are going to have to do something. And Bell takes this, and he's going to get ahead of steam, and he has some room to go, and is going to take the ball out to about the 46-yard line. So nice return there by Bell. And the Bears start again on the 47-yard line of the Bears.
Some very good field position for the Bears. Can they now capitalize?
So Pente trots the offense back on the field. Bell and Staticus stay out there as the tailback fullback. We've sometimes seen Valverde. We've sometimes seen Wyandotte out there running the ball. And this time back to pass and going to try down the field and out to the outstretched hands of number 6, Chase Klein. So the Bears trying to get it back on one player, not able to do it. Ball falls incomplete for Chase Klein down the far sideline.
Beautiful throw just out of the reach of Chase Klein. Hit him in the fingertips. And we have an incomplete pass. Clock stopped. 8:52 left in the third quarter.
Obviously, too, as we think about how the rest of this game could turn out, it's still a possibility. No matter how this game turns out for the Bears, they can make the playoffs. So that's one thing to still kind of keep in mind as well.
That is, but you would like to see the Bears go into the playoffs with some sort of momentum.
And Bell gets it here, tries to take the outside, cuts back, tries to break free, still has feet, still moving. What a great run by Bell that time. Gets the first down, gets about 16 yards on that run, and a first down, almost back to where they had the ball before the fumble.
That's right, and what got to be close to the longest run that DeAndre Bell has had all game. Again, he's in the second half so far. As young as the second half is, DeAndre Bell really put the team on his back so far in this third quarter.
So Bell stays out there in the pistol. Pente has two receivers to the top and bottom of the screen. He's going to keep it with Bell, who's going to move his fullback out of the way. He says, let me go, and is going to get about 5 yards on that carry. So like we said, I mean, Bell has been running the ball really well. You just can't make the mistakes like they had.
That's right.
To give the ball back to Trenton.
Jason Pente giving the play to his offense here.
Pente's going to have Staticus to his left. Bell behind him. It's going to be another handoff to Bell as he moves up. And a close, we're going to say very close to the first down. Let's see if the referees give him the first down here. So they're going to say third and short.
It's like number 9, Peyton Culpepper in on that tackle there. You have to imagine they're going to give the ball right back to DeAndre Bell for this short run for first down.
So again, a third and short here for the Bears on the 26-yard line. And Bell is going to be close. We'll see if they give him. I don't think he's going to have enough here for a first down. It looks like it's going to be a fourth down play here.
Number 20, Liam Totten there on the stop for Trenton.
You know, and obviously here it's 1 yard. You always say if you can do it, you know, you better show that you can at least get 1 yard. So we'll see what the Bears decide to do here. This is where the line has to get that push out blocks, just be able to let that running back get to the at least back a little bit past line of scrimmage here. So this time goes under center. Pente is going to push forward and get the first down.
Absolutely beautiful effort by Pente. Even kind of looked like Trenton may have jumped a little bit early, but that's not going to matter. They're going to get that first down.
So it is good for a first down.
There you go. A little discussion, a little thought about it.
And one thing, too, keep in mind, too, Kevin, as we kind of get down to the end of the fall sports season here, is a lot of our sports teams have done very well. Tennis finished 11th in the state. The boys had, in cross country yesterday, the first and third place finishers, which was a very nice job. They have regionals for both boys and girls in cross country coming up here next week. Swimming, volleyball, a lot of positive things going on here in Wyandotte in the fall sports season. Pente, this time's going to be back to pass, throws it up, has an open receiver, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown by Chase Klein, who finally brings it down. And the Bears get their first points on the board.
That is right. Touchdown. Wyandotte pass complete to number 6, Chase Klein, as we put 6 on the board for the Bears. And finally, the Albatross is off of the back of the Bears, able to put some points on the board against this Trenton Trojan defense. And now, let's capitalize, George.
Well, now it's about making a stop. I mean, if Trenton can do a scoop and score for, and that's something Wyandotte has to look at too. Punch the ball out, play some tough defense. Let's get a turnover here when they get the back on defense.
It is something that we haven't seen all game long. We need a turnover. We need a stop by the Wyandotte defense. And as we put it through the uprights, it is now 21-7. Trenton Trojans with 6:04 left in the third quarter.
And again, it looked like that's what the Bears were doing on that first possession until the fumble. I mean, they had their way to basically down the field.
Absolutely.
Bell was doing what he needed to do, and that's really kind of how you have to set up this offense right now. You've got to be able to run the ball, set up something where Trenton's being sucked in. They're respecting the run. You get one-on-one coverage to the outside, and you've seen when that's happened, they're able to make those catches. So those are some of the things that you're noticing is that, when they're getting that one-on-one coverage, as long as the ball's there, they've had an opportunity to do that. So
That's right. And we have seen the confidence of Jason Pente go up game by game.
Right.
You and I both have sat in the stands at away games, and his confidence and his expertise has went up exponentially. He didn't have any thoughts of starting this season, and through some injuries and illness, here he is, and he's doing a great job. And Valverde back to kick, and away we go.
And here comes Trenton on their return, and the Bears. Klein, after making that touchdown catch, is going to make the tackle, and Trenton will start. It looks like at about the 30-yard line here for their first official possession of the second half.
That's right. Number 7, Josh Hall on that return brings it out to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
So let's see what the defense can do here. I mean, you got to build on that momentum a little bit as it's back down to a 2-score game. And Beaudry is going to give it out to the fullback. That is Norgran, and only about a gain of 1 there. So, again, it's about reading your keys. It's one thing that I always tell the defense. See where the guard is going. Don't peek at the ball. If you peek at the ball, then that's where bad things, you start playing peekaboo. So you got to be able to watch where those guards are pulling, watch where the linemen are going. All right, well, watch your keys. That's what they always tell the defenders. So Beaudry comes out here with 3 receivers. He is going to be back to pass. A quick little pass out there, and that ball is going to be caught, it looks like, but as soon as he catches it, as soon as you are down without being touched, that ball is down. And that was, man, that could have been the play the Bears were kind of looking for, too. But
that is right. That's a big loss.
If anything, though, it
Trojans.
sets up a 3rd and 16 now, 8-yard loss on that play. And that's the one thing with that. If you throw it behind, then it's a live ball. It's going to be a fumble.
Yep.
So it's the backwards pass. But 3rd and 16 now, and a chance for the Bears to get the ball back. They're able to stop them here on this play. And here we go. Beaudry's back to pass, and he's looking deep, and he's trying to air it out, and he's going to be taken down.
Unbelievable play.
That is Lou Peterson who makes the sack back at the 15-yard line. So 9-yard loss in the play, 4th and 25, and the Bears are in business here with 4:11 left.
This is the Bears that we had been looking for all game long. This is the Bears that needed to. This is the play that the Bears needed all game long, and now it looks like we have it. We've got a 4th and forever for the Trojans as they're going to punt it away. Low snap.
And Bell is going to get it here with a chance. Oh, sorry, it's Valverde. He touched the ball, and he's just going to go down.
Very smart play. Ooh, late hit there on Valverde.
Once you touch that ball, it is a live ball. He's able to take it, but the Bears are going to be right around the 50-yard line.
That's
3:44 left. I mean, if you can somehow take it down and score before the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's a 1-score game going in, it's even money at that point.
That's right.
You just got to you got to do what you did on the last one. You got to feed off this a little bit. That line was getting pushed. Bell was getting, he was hitting the holes hard. So, again, the momentum is clearly shifted. It's clearly shifted back to the Bears here as they get to this next possession.
Beautiful field position for the Bears as they now take over at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 with 3:44 left in the 3rd quarter. And Hands it off
going to be
to
a handoff to Bell, and this time he only gets a couple yards.
Looks like we have a very late flag coming in.
And let's see what they call here. It's in the vicinity of possibly a holding. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's going to be on number 34, Michael Staticus. That's going to be a 15-yard. That's what you can't do.
Absolutely. With the as much momentum as the Bears have had, that is something that is unacceptable. And as you see now, Stathicus quickly off the field, having a short little chat with his coaches. The Bears have to now regroup and keep capitalizing on the momentum that they had. Get this 15-yard penalty out of their heads and keep marching down the field as they were.
I'm not sure if this is a second or a first down. He's still okay. There we go, second down. So it was a dead ball penalty. So I think the referees are still going to. Yeah. So it's second down, dead ball. So the ball would have been stopped after the 3-yard gain and 15 yards from that, and I think that's where they were trying to make sure that they were set up with. So
that's right. Here
we go. Looking to get back that 15 yards. Pente is going to look down. He's going to try it again. Nathan Gonzalez. And, right through his hands. He had a step on the corner.
Just unable to bring those hands together.
Was not able to bring it in. So now we have a third down here for the Bears.
Gonzalez a little bit ginger after that breakup, but he's going to stay on the field. And we'll see if the Bears go right back to that deep pass. I mean, very deep in their own end. 3rd and 23 on your 37-yard line with 3:29 left. Clock stopped. Looks like Valverde's coming back in. Pente about to bring the play back into his men.
So again, not many 3rd and 23 calls on the playbook. We'll see what the Bears dial up here. After the personal foul penalty definitely hurt them on this drive. And there's going to be is that going to be a delay game? That's the second one that the Bears have seen.
And again, we said with the first delay game, it's hard to see. I'm not seeing the referee giving any kind of hand signal on when the play clock is winding down, but we'll take it for what it's worth now. 3rd and 28 on the 32-yard line.
So here we go. 3rd and 28. Pente back to pass. And this is going to be a pass out to Bell, and he's not able to get away from the first tackler as he's brought down almost by the jersey there. Gain of about a yard on that play. So what started as positive momentum, the Bears were at almost the 50-yard line. They gained 3 yards on first down. Couple of penalties, wipe out what could have been a great drive, and they will be punting here with 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
We said it at the beginning of the second half, the Bears had to stay away from penalties. That one penalty, that 15-yard penalty, absolutely killed that drive for the Bears.
And not very good of a punt. I know Trenton does pick it up, and he is pushed down. That is number 2, Beaudry, the quarterback, who gets it, and he's going to be pushed down there right around the Trenton 49-yard line. So Trenton has good field position here on their next possession. Again, Kevin, we've looked at some of the scenarios. We know what's at stake. Some of the downriver teams that are pretty much known to be in is there was a big game tonight, basically for the downriver league title between Woodhaven and Carlson. I haven't seen any updates on that. I know that Allen Park will be in as well. So you've got at least those 3 teams representing downriver. And then, obviously, probably the winner of this game, maybe both teams, but for sure the winner of this game would definitely be in the playoffs as well.
I mean, and those 3 teams that you mentioned, Allen Park, Woodhaven, and Carlson, 3 amazing teams that Wyandotte saw this season.
And Beaudry here with the fake, and he's going to try to run it himself on the outside, and they're going to call a penalty here, and I believe it's going to be a holding call. But Beaudry gets temporarily about a 7-yard gain, but I believe they're going to call a holding call against Trenton. We're waiting for it. And they are going to accept that. So Trenton gets their penalty to put them in a hole to start this drive.
Ball is now marked at the 39-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Trojans. As Beaudry brings his men to the line here.
So 2:36 here as we get ready for this play. He's got 3 receivers. He moves Norgrand to his left side, and back to pass is Beaudry, and this time he's going to try to keep it. He has Bro chasing him, and gets hit, throws the ball up, and the ball is almost going to be intercepted by number 20, Daryl Foster. Had his hands on it, but is unable to bring in that pick.
The intended receiver was all over Foster, bordered on offensive pass interference, but no such luck for the Bears. Daryl Foster with a great play, and now it is 2nd and 20 marked on the 39-yard line for the Trojans.
It's hard to believe a week from now, Kevin, will be Halloween. A Sunday this year, which I'm not a big fan of because it's tough for the kiddos.
Yeah.
Of course, one little known fact about Kevin and I is we both have sons named Roman, which
That's
is
right.
kind of interesting. I like to tell Kevin I stole that from him, but we always always had that name in the back of our mind.
That's
so
right.
Here goes Beaudry here with quad receivers, 2 to each side, and tries to set up the screen and is just going to basically throw that ball back close to where the line of scrimmage here, and I don't know if they're going to call. Ooh. They're going to talk about this. They're going to see if they're going to call a intentional grounding or not, because the rule is you do have to get the ball toward the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he was able to. They're going to see if they're going to call this. The one line judge comes over, and yes, they are going to throw a flag. So, and also, sorry, this is an eligible man downfield. Or no, are they calling? No, they're talking. One of them had intentional grounding. One's calling illegal man downfield. We'll see. Because even if you're a lineman going out for a screen, you can't get that far down before the ball is caught. And so let's see kind of what they're going to call here. No, they are calling intentional grounding on Trenton. So loss of down, 3rd down. So intentional grounding rules are a little bit interesting. You know, you hear the outside the tackle, but you also have to get the ball back toward the line of scrimmage as well, and that did not happen on that play.
That's exactly right.
So it stays as a loss of down. Will be a 3rd down and 30 now. It looks like.
Oh, looks like it was a 5-yard penalty.
3rd down and 25. So. Penalties in this quarter have hurt both teams.
Absolutely.
From getting anything going on some of their drives here. So 4 receivers again for Trenton. We'll see if Beaudry decides to throw it down the field, and he does look. He's going to keep it, though. Very similar last time. This time, though, the Bears do a nice job minimizing the damage. He's going to be tackled by George Lovell, who looks a little bit shaken up on that play, but the Trojans are going to punt. We're coming down to about 2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter, so about the best case scenario.
Tale of 2 drives there for both teams. Both teams had some devastating penalties on both of their drives. And both have to now punt it away.
And it is blocked punt, and picked up by the Bears, and they are in business at the 25-yard line. Both teams have been close on their punts today as far as getting in there for a block. Wyandotte gets through, and they are in business at the 25-yard line.
That's right. Picked up by number 10, Ethan Bro. And finally, a break that the Bears can now capitalize. They must capitalize, put some points on the board on this drive with very, very good field position.
Yeah, that was Nathan Gonzalez who came in and made the block there. And actually, you've seen it all game long where both teams have been close to getting that block punt. So nice job there by the Bears. Now you got to do something with it.
Absolutely.
And they've been running the ball pretty well this half. You got a lot of time left. You don't have to go for a deep. Do what's been working for you. We'll see what the offense has dialed up now as they already have the ball inside at the 26-yard line. And Pente's going to roll out, and he is going to try a back pass, and to Bro, and close. Trenton had that red. He would have caught it, and good thing he actually got the ball kind of high there because the Trenton defender was right there ready to make the play.
That's it, and I can understand the idea that Pente had in mind. Ethan Bro, is a tall receiver at 6'6", put it up where he can get it, and just able to, got the fingertips on it, but not able to bring it in.
So here we go. Here is we still have a minute and 25 left in the third quarter. The most important thing, and Pente looks to his right, has some pressure.
Throw it away.
He's going to get it out there, and the ball is going to go outside. So smarter on that play to be able to get just the ball outside and get it out of bounds. And here we go. I mean, one of the biggest plays of the game right now, even still in the third quarter, Bears have to do something. I mean, they were given the great field position. They have to be able to do something here on this play. And they're going to call.
Oh, no. Grounding on the Bears.
So you're going to call intentional grounding on the Bears. So it is still fourth down. And I guess that's where the rule is a little bit different. It's only a 5-yard penalty for intentional grounding in high school. So it's going to be a 4th and 15 on the 31-yard line. Here we go. Buckle up for this fourth down play. Pente back to pass. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. It's going to throw it deep. For Bell. And he has it. And the ball is knocked out. That's Chase Klein. The ball is knocked out there at the very end. Had it for a second. The ball is knocked out. Bears wanted a taunting penalty. They're not going to get it. And Trenton will take over at the 31-yard line. So great field position for the Bears. Great opportunity to be able to possibly put a touchdown on the board. And it does not happen.
That'll be the question. I mean, they didn't put it in DeAndre Bell's hands at all that drive. Was that a mistake?
And, you can kind of see, again, you're trying to catch the defense off guard and trying to do something along those lines. And, there's still time, but, at some point here, you got to sense the urgency that's going to be happening as Trenton comes out here in a wing formation, sets a receiver in motion. Ball's going to be taken right up the middle of the field. And hardly anything, if anything at all, maybe a yard on that play.
Would be nice to see another turnover. The Bears have proved that they have it in them for a turnover. It'd be nice to see, another turnover. Great field position. We'll see what the Bears have. As we have about 40 seconds left here in the third quarter, clock running.
That's obviously the goal for Trenton right now, is to try to run down the clock as much as possible, get a few running plays in here. Fourth. We had a pretty, that first half was a pretty brisk first half. I think we were done before 8 o'clock. It went pretty fast here. This has obviously been slowed down a little bit more, but Trenton's looking deep on this play, and they're going to try over the middle, and a couple of players meet
head
there. And Gonzalez is hurt, takes his helmet off right away as he kind of collides there with Hall. And trainers from both teams are going to go out there. And, yeah, that was just something where both players were trying to come into the middle. And you saw right away Gonzalez basically, take his helmet off as soon as he got hit. Those, that's just a scary situation right there.
Crowd goes hush for these two players as we see Gonzalez at least able to get up and.
Yeah, things like that are always scary too, because whenever a player hits, helmets or something along those lines, the head is such a.
That's it, and especially it was a completely incidental play there. Both players kind of jockeying for the ball, going for the ball, and just unintentionally hit helmets.
And Hall hasn't really moved a whole lot yet, whereas Gonzalez was able to get up. So we're kind of watching this right now. Again, the training staffs from both teams are there. And again, they go through the motions of what they need to do on here whenever there's a possible neck injury to make sure that that everything is properly looked at.
Absolutely, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome to Roosevelt High School here, Jim Johnston Field. Kevin Wright alongside George Perdue, the voice of Wyandotte football. We have an injured player down on the field. And 17.6 seconds left in the third quarter. The Trojans up 21-7.
So it looks they are going to call in medical help. It looks like I see the trainer Darren on the phone. This is not the first time we would have seen this. We had that happen against Taylor, I believe.
That's
where
right.
The player had broken his leg. The only thing that we have not seen in this situation is the player move anything yet. And part of that's just the stabilization factor as well.
That's right.
But you cannot take any, you got to take all the precautions, especially with something neck, spinal.
Mm-hmm. You bet. And both teams, some of the best trainers in the game, Trenton and Wyandotte. We just hope for the best for this Trenton player.
We have not seen the medical help show up yet, but it did look like they had called for that.
You have to wonder how this, affects both teams. It's a scary situation.
That definitely puts the aspect of the fact that it's this is the hard part with this. It's you obviously are hoping for the safety of the players, no matter what side you're on. It's definitely something that the players obviously understand the risk of playing this sport, but at the same time, never want to see something like this happen.
Absolutely.
Are you interested in television production? If so, you can become a volunteer at the Wyandotte Cable Studio. Located on the 3rd floor of City Hall, our staff and volunteers produce an exciting and informative array of programming that includes Up, Down, and Around Town, JC's TV, and The Bear's Den. The Wyandotte Cable Studio features HD video cameras, LED lights, a powerful editing suite, and a versatile video switcher. Volunteer. Meet new people. Create a show. For more information, call 734-324-7136 or email cablestudio@wyan.org.
The medical staff has shown up here. Obviously, they are much more equipped than what trainers have. And again, they're going to take all the precautions necessary to make sure that the player is stabilized, and then obviously take him to get looked at. So we're going to let them do the work that they need to do, and however long this takes, obviously the safety of the player is the most important thing. Again, as you see the Trenton players come out here to make sure their teammate is okay. You know, obviously we pray for the best. We know that he'll be getting the best medical care to look at to see what type of injury it is and how things are. So again, it's part of the game that you never want to ever see happen, no matter what side you're on. And you know, it's tough. And of course, the hard part with this is that you have to keep playing.
That's right.
You know, and that becomes the emotional part afterwards.
That's right. And you know, both coaching staffs have got their players prepared, you know, as well as they can, and we're going to keep playing here with 17.6 left in the third quarter. Bears down 21-7 to the Trenton Trojans, and right now both teams huddled up on their sidelines. Coaches kind of giving them a pep talk. I mean that you know, as you've said so eloquently, we pray for the safety and well-being of the player. You know, but now it's back to football, and the truth of the matter is the kids have now been sitting in 40-degree weather for 10, 15 minutes, and we'll see how now that affects the game.
And to reset, we are now back to a 3rd and 9, 17.6 seconds left in the third quarter. Trenton has the ball. The Bears looking for a stop here at the end of the third quarter with a chance to get the ball back to start the fourth, down by 2 scores. And here we go. Beaudry has 3 receivers. He's going to look back to pass. Ball's going to go out to the outside and incomplete to number, looks like number 6 there. And Bell with the coverage there. So the Bears are going to get the ball back here to start the fourth quarter.
It's good. We kind of saw the defense kind of come out fired up after that long delay, and it paid dividends. Now we have a turnover on downs. Bears get the ball in really good field position here. Still, with 12.9 left in the third quarter.
Absolutely. Trojans are back to punt. Valverde's back there at about stepping back to between the 35 and the 40. And the Bears almost had a chance again. This time on a low kick. Valverde does. Oh, no. And it looks like Trenton gets it. Valverde muffed it the last time. Was able to recover it this time. No such luck as Trenton keeps the ball. About the worst possible situation he could have asked for there.
That's it. I kind of spoke too soon in saying that the Bears would have good field position, with some time left in the third quarter. But now 2.5 left in the third quarter. Trenton takes over 1st and 10.
And again, so simple things that you got to be careful of, that you cannot shoot yourself in the foot with. And, he had it, and it happened to him earlier in the game too, and was lucky to be able to hold on to it. And this time, ball turns over to Trenton. So Trenton has it at the Wyandotte 44-yard line. Receiver in motion there. It's going to be a pitch. And Brome is in pursuit and takes it almost to the outside and is going to get at least a good 15-yard run. That is Marshall who takes it on the pitch there. Got set in motion on the pitch, and the Trenton gets a first down. And that's going to end the third quarter. As we go to the fourth here at Jim Johnson Field, with the possible last quarter of the season for the Bears, 21-7 trailing, Trenton is driving.
George, we are, we always talk about, every time we're on the air here, we talk about the long history of Ron Adams here at Roosevelt High School and the uber success that he's had. In your memory, has Adams ever missed the playoffs?
No. So I was coaching football at the middle school, and I remember when Ron came in, he took over for a long time, head coach, the late, great Rod Baker, and came in 2006. And, and not much was actually expected. I remember back in that 2006 season, and I remember I was at every single game, and the Bears made the playoffs that year. I believe that was Chad Bondman, who now is coach of Lincoln Park, who was, I believe, was quarterback of that team. And they've never missed the playoffs since Ron's been here. So,
wow.
So from 06 to this year, So quite the streak for the Bears as Beaudry does an inside handoff there, and he is wide open, and that is gone. That was number 8, Anderson, and it was just an inside handoff. He took it. There was nobody untouched for the touchdown. And the first play of the fourth quarter could be the backbreaker for Wyandotte as Trenton is now ahead, 27-7 extra point pending.
That's right. Kind of, I don't know whether it was miscommunication or just, the wrong play called. Anderson able to just kind of thread and saw a big hole, brought it in for the touchdown.
So the kick is up and the kick is good. And with 11:51 here in the fourth quarter, the Trojans are up 28-7. Just tough. I mean, you really look at some of the things that were kind of going right for the Bears. They brought it within, or they were driving on that first possession, then the fumble for the touchdown. Came back 21-7, had the ball again at the 25-yard line after that block punt. Wasn't able to do anything with that. Have had some chances in the second half, but the execution has not always been there.
That's right. I mean, execution, key number one issue, just not being able to finish, not being able to put, kind of their exclamation point on any good drive that they've had, whether it was through, miscommunications or costly penalties.
Yeah, so still some time, but the Bears are probably going to have to start putting the ball in the air a little bit more, down 3 scores now.
And we've seen that, and unfortunately it didn't quite work out in Wyandotte's favor. We'll see what they have dialed up again. Number 30, Charlie Arganello back to kick for the Trojans, back to receive Valverde and DeAndre Bell.
And this is going to go to number 8, Xavier Byrne, who is going to break away from a couple tackles and take it across the 40, check it to the 43-yard line.
Nice little return by Byrne. He's had a pretty good season. We've called his name a few times. Very solid player for the Bears.
Yeah, both the Byrne brothers. Xavier is the senior. Xavier is Christian's Xavier is the senior. Christian is the junior. And the Bears trot back out on offense with basically having to score on pretty much every possession from now until the end of the game if they're going to do anything here to get back into this.
And you will have to have some bounces go the Bears' way here.
So Pente gets the ball out, and that's not really going to go much of anywhere. Nathan Gonzalez is going to basically be stopped at the line of scrimmage. So the clock will continue to run here. That was one of the longest minutes, I think, of a quarter. We just now have got past the minute mark of the fourth quarter.
That's it.
Pente back to pass is going to try to get it out, and that ball is off the mark for the intended receiver. It looked like that was Chase Klein. Or sorry, that was Xavier Byrne that was out there on that.
It looked like Nathaniel Gonzalez thought that ball was supposed to come to him. He came looking for the pass, and it just it wasn't there. Kind of in the middle between Byrne and Gonzalez. Maybe a miscommunication on the offense there. Let's regroup and bring it back.
And in the heavyweight matchup of the evening, we mentioned this earlier, Carlson and Woodhaven. Carlson was beating Woodhaven with 5 minutes to go in the game. It was 28-14, which would actually give Carlson a share of the Downriver League title. Woodhaven was 8-0. Carlson was 7-1. Obviously had to beat Woodhaven to get a share of the title, and was up 28-14. I've not heard another update, but that was 5 minutes to go. Pente gets the ball out to Gonzalez, and that is going to be an incompletion. The ball is going to bounce. So that is going to be a 4th down coming up here in 10.
Oh,
And now this is going to be
Sideline.
No, I believe it's going to be on Gonzalez here.
There's a late flag.
So I think he was either arguing that the ball was caught, but if the referee basically signals that it is incomplete, kind of hard though. The angle that the referee had would have been at the back of the receiver. So
That's right.
I'm not sure if he's the one that should have really been making that call that it was. And I guess that's confusion right now. Was it a completed pass or not?
It is a completed catch. After the catch, it's sportsmanlike contact on the Bears.
Now, the argument that Gonzalez has that he caught the ball and they're going to call a penalty on him for unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't know. To me, this seems kind of odd. Is that first they said it was incomplete. He was arguing that the ball was caught. The referee is basically,
He sided with the player and then gave him a 15-yard penalty for it.
So we're at a 3rd and 21 now. I'm sorry, 4th and 21, because obviously the play stands. I don't know. I'm a little confused here on the fact that if the player was arguing and then you end up giving him the catch, unless something was said that was derogatory, I'm not sure exactly why you'd give the. And the Bears look like they're going to come out here and punt the ball. So, Bears are going to punt. It's a 4th and 21 now. And that ball is brought in by Valverde, and that ball is going to be basically a line drive. And that ball goes off a Trenton player,
Went off
I
a
believe.
Trenton player.
Now I'm not sure what's really going on because it looked like it hit off a Trenton player.
We have a
And then they
flag
call
coming
another
in.
flag.
First down will be first down and 10 for the Trojans. The ball is placed at the Trenton 43-yard line.
So here's the hard part on that one. I mean, if it hits the player, now if it hits a Wyandotte player before a Trenton player, then the ball would be dead. Would be down there. If it's a Trenton player first, it's a live ball.
Looks like Wyandotte got a sideline warning for their troubles.
Yeah, well, right now, I mean, it's got 10 minutes left to go in this game. It could get worse before it gets better.
That's right.
It's kind of going downhill right now as far as some of the stuff that's going on. And again, the last 2 penalties I'm a little not sure of, especially with the fact that, like I said, unless something derogatory was said to the referee. This one, though, I mean, that was a very quick whistle.
Yeah.
Again, from the same referee watching, where the ball was. So
That's right. Well, now ball marked at the 43-yard line. Trenton Trojans take over 1st and 10.
And obviously Trent's just going to want to run the ball here. They come out in a very heavy formation here, and here goes Beaudry, and the ball comes out, and it looks like Wyandotte has it. So
What a break for the Bears.
Trying to get a couple extra yards there, Beaudry is hit. And Wyandotte gets the ball right back. So, like we said, it's been an interesting last few plays. That's all I'm going to say.
Man. Now, I mean, the Bears have to now capitalize. There's plenty of football left to play in this 4th quarter. Go Blue.
So we'll kind of see here what I don't know. And to think we haven't even played 2 minutes in the 4th quarter. It's still 10:05 left in the 4th. So if we're here till midnight tonight,
that's right.
You guys will know why. I will definitely need coffee if that's going to be the case. All right, here we go. Bears have the ball. Pente back to pass, tries over the middle, and that's going to be picked. And there is going to be a flag as well. Trenton has it. racing down the sidelines. One man to beat, and Bro is going to catch number 9. Let's see here what the penalty is. I don't know if that's going to be a holding.
Pointing towards the Bears.
I'm not sure exactly what they're calling here, so it looks like it's going to be against Wyandotte.
Fans kind of in an uproar here. Those that have stayed and braved the cooler weather here.
Again, we've seen a little bit of everything here in these first a little over 2 minutes of this fourth quarter.
That's right.
And if this is a holding call, then Trenton will have the interception and the ball, 1st and goal. And they're going to go over and talk to the Trenton coach, which pretty much signals that it's probably going to be a penalty against the Bears.
We're about to get our call here. Call is holding against the Bears. Penalty declined on sportsmanlike conduct on Trenton.
And we can say that it is a final. Carlson beats Woodhaven at Woodhaven 28-14. So we have co-champions of the Downriver League. Carlson beats Woodhaven to both finish at 8-1. So like I said, a little bit of a, you definitely have to say that the Carlson was the underdog going into that game.
Absolutely.
But we do have a final that Carlson did beat Woodhaven 28-14 to share the Downriver League title for 2021.
Well,
congratulations to both teams as they get ready for the playoffs next week.
So, after all that, we have a holding penalty on Wyandotte and unsportsmanlike on Trenton, and we are marked at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
And a pitch out to number 8 on the sweep, and the Bears sniffed that out pretty quickly. And we actually have the clock running, which it really hasn't been too much in this. There's been a lot of stoppage in since the end of the third quarter and early fourth quarter here.
That's right.
We're coming up on close to 9:30.
That's right.
But we've had some long games this year, Kevin. I mean, that's one of the things that, you know, we can say is we've had some long games. You know, for whatever the case may be, you know, penalties or some of the injuries that we've seen happen. So let's see here what's going to be happening, as obviously Trenton is trying to just run the clock, keep the ball on the ground. A fake pitch. This is back to the inside handoff again, and here we go. Same play, different side. Aragonello scores on the fake pitch inside handoff, and the score is now 34-7 with 8:52 left in the fourth quarter. I would like to say, even though with the score looking the way it is, that you know, it's been a pretty close, you know, tight game for the most part. I mean, granted, the Bears were down 14 to nothing at halftime, but
it has been. It has been a tight game. The score doesn't quite show that. The difference is that Trenton has been able to capitalize on penalties, mistakes that the Bears have made, and they've been able to capitalize on big plays. And Wyandotte simply has not. You know, we've seen blocked punts, we've seen you know, turnovers, and the Bears just have not been able to capitalize all game long. And now with 8 minutes 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the score here at Roosevelt High School, your Wyandotte Bears 7, The Trenton Trojans 35 in this final game of the regular season here at Roosevelt High School, Jim Johnston Field. And the band plays Sweet Caroline as we wind things down here at Roosevelt High School.
So Trenton will be kicking off here with 8:52 left, and you know, and we have to understand too, these players, you know, on both sides, really on any team, you know, you're going in the summer. I mean, it's really almost like, you know, it starts about a month after the last season ends. You hit the weight room, you know, you're going in, as we see Wyandotte Valverde return it here as he takes up the middle and he has some room and he's following some of his blockers.
Ooh.
And is going to be stood up at about the 46 yard line of Trenton. But, you know, they work, you know, and it's one of those things where it's, you don't just show up in August and play. And that might have been the way it was 20 years ago.
That's right.
But now it's, you know, you're doing the stuff in June and July and passing leagues and workouts and all kinds of stuff. And it's hard. And especially when you see it, you know, getting close to possibly the end, it's tough because you put so much time and effort into it.
That's right.
The coaches do. And, you know, and I eat lunch with Coach Adams every day. We kind of share a little table together. And, you know, and he's been doing this a long time, and he has so many years in this, and you know, they put so much effort into what they do, and they have to be commended because it can be a thankless, you know, a lot of coaching can be a thankless job. So, Pente pitches the ball out to Bell. Bell gets it around a little bit to the outside as he gains about 2 yards there on that play.
That's right, and. You know, you alluded to it. The effort of this Bears team is immeasurable. I mean, as you said, they've been going at it since basically, you know, the beginning of the summer. You know, they come out, it's 90 degrees. They're working out, they're practicing. You know, and you know the quit is non-existent in this Bears team, and you know, hopefully we can come back next year with a vengeance and. And we see Bell.
Bell breaks one down here. And a nice run by Bell. I believe his longest run, he takes to about the 24-yard line, 23-yard line of Trenton. So nice run by Bell there. And, you know, and you feel for some of the seniors, too, on this team. You know, Biundo's a senior. DeAndre Bell's a senior. Canterbury, who couldn't finish the year, you know, he's a senior. You know, Ethan Bro, Liam Carroll. I mean, there's a lot of kids on this team that, you know, have been doing this for 4 years, and it's tough to be able to think that this might be the last game for them.
Well, and those names, just that short list of names that you've called. I mean, we've been calling those names since Indians. You know, since Little League. They've been doing this. They've been all together. And they've put together quite an effort in their 4 years here at Roosevelt High School.
Some of the other seniors on this team, too, Deshaun Terrence, Leo Hastings, Lou Peterson, Colin Arminiak, Colin Hale, Joe Valentine. And I know a lot of these kids from having them in class. I mean, they're great kids. You know, they have great school spirit. Like I said, it's tough to be able to kind of put into words what this could be if this was the last game. And the ball is caught by Gonzalez, and he takes it for the touchdown. Cornerback tried to make the play on it, make the break. Gonzalez was able to take it, and the Bears put another score on the board, 35-13 here with 7:04 left.
That's right. You know, some glimpses as we put a 6 on the board for the Bears. Pass complete to number 14, Nathaniel Gonzalez. And with 7:04 left in the fourth quarter, pending the extra point. Looks like they're going to go for a 2-point conversion here.
And here, there's going to be a flag here on that play. We'll see if there was some illegal shift or something here. And legal procedure play. Well, as we get as we turn the page here in the next week to November, it's hard to believe that we're getting to that point. And, we think about Halloween coming up here and, Thanksgiving. And it's crazy how fast, these
That's
years
right.
start going. I know that a lot of the times the kids don't realize that.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
And here is Pente as he tries the ball deep, and Klein brings it in, it looks like, for the 2 points. So
That's right.
So a nice 2-point conversion there. His score is 35-15.
And as you're talking about time passing by, don't sugarcoat it, George. Christmas music is right around the corner. I can hear it in your bones already.
I told a few people today, I said, you were the ones I think of when I play my Christmas music in October. It's just one of those things where, especially maybe like on a night after a night like this, when you go back home and I put a vinyl on the old record player, I might put some Christmas music out there.
There you go again, George, showing your age.
I do. Not many people have a
Victrola?
I've got an 8-track player on my record player at home. I picked one up last year, I think it was, and it's a Magnavox record player. That sound is absolutely perfect that I play in my basement. But I do not own any 8-tracks. But if anybody has some out there, don't bring them to me. But
Roosevelt High School, care of George Perdue.
Yes. The next thing you know, I'll have a million 8-tracks dumped at the school on Monday morning. But I will take any Christmas vinyls if people have those out there. It's always good to listen to a little bit of Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra.
There you go.
Around that time of year. So.
You wonder if the Bears have a little something cooked up here for this kickoff.
Yeah, it's if they're going to try something here as far as an onside kick, I'm sure Trenton's talking that over too on their sidelines, and we'll see what the Bears have dialed in for something like this. I mean, what have you got to lose by doing something like that?
Yep. And again, as we alluded to just a few minutes ago, Carlson defeats Woodhaven at Woodhaven. And both teams won a share of the Downriver League title. And congratulations to those two teams. We saw both of those teams earlier in the season. Carlson at Carlson and Woodhaven here during homecoming. Valverde back to kick for the Bears.
And we'll see here. They're not really positioned, but in a way like this, you could kind of be. And they are going to try here for the onside kick, and the ball is going to be taken by Trenton by number 15.
And that is Dominic Calloway. Beautiful, beautiful recovery, textbook recovery. Brought it in, brought it to his chest, fell down on the ground. And now the Trojans will take over at the 47-yard line with 7:02 left in the fourth quarter. Trojans up 35-15 on the Bears in this final home game of the year.
One thing I didn't realize either, Kevin, is that next Saturday we fall back in our time. So we fall back, and then Halloween on that Sunday, which I'm not a big fan of Halloween on a Sunday just because of going to school the next day. And I have 3 young kids. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, my nephew, who probably will still go out as well, even though he's 16. So, and the ball is handed off here, and about a 3-yard gain for Norgran. We've seen this play run a lot by the fullback dive, basically by Trent a lot today, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot more of that to just kind of run out some of this clock. Your kids excited about Halloween coming up here?
You have a 10th grader here at Roosevelt. She's not as excited anymore, but the 5-year-old is definitely ready to get the candy and eat it all that night.
Yeah, and that's one thing too. It's always, as long as they get some good candy that they can share with me, then that's the most important thing.
That's right.
Take 5s or some dots. I'll take those all day long.
Some dots.
I'm a dot man.
George Perdue, ladies and gentlemen,
dots.
showing his age.
And Norgran here with the dive up the middle for a couple more yards. No, I grew up, with my well, it was my parents and my grandparents, but my grandparents always had some of that older candy. My grandma
Okay.
loved black licorice. I don't know how anybody
no.
could, but no, she loved that black licorice, and I was just like, Mike and Ike's and some of
Yeah.
that stuff. Good and Plenty, I think, is the black licorice version of it. But no, give me Dots all day long. I eat those.
Another score just came in over the wire. George, it looks like Allen Park on their homecoming took care of Southgate, no problem, 48-0.
Yeah, and so that's a pretty late homecoming, too. A lot of schools had their homecoming early October. Allen Park's one of the later homecomings this weekend. But the school's got to decide when they want to do that. And I think they're having it outdoors at Heritage Park tomorrow. And that might be a little chilly from what I'm hearing. But, we'll see. I think they got a tent. It might be heated, so.
Wyandotte had their homecoming dance outdoors,
Yeah, and it
very
was
successful.
I know we haven't really talked, and we haven't been on the air since that game. I worked, you were the DJ, and
That's
I
right.
was out there, and it was a gorgeous night for it. So, great event to have the game here. And here's quarterback Beaudry, keeps it, and he's going to get close, probably about a yard short here, and we'll see if they decide to go for it on fourth down. But Wyandotte actually calls a timeout here, their second timeout. We'll say my wife and I were able to go out recently, for dinner downtown Wyandotte, and you kind of see they were doing some stuff down there to kind of with Halloween and things like that. It's, I will say this for the area, one of the best downtown areas to go to. A lot of the local establishments. I mean, there's not much like it around downriver.
No, Wyandotte, the community and the camaraderie in the community is second to none. There is no better place than the city of Wyandotte and Roosevelt High School. It's unbelievable.
And I will say this, though, when I walked during my prep hour down to Dunkin' Donuts this week, and guess what I saw? Grosio Lawn and Sprinkler putting the Christmas lights up around the splash pad. So that's what made me think that we're getting close.
We're getting close.
And Trenton will go for it here on fourth down. 4th and 1 here. Let's see if they try the simple dive. We're trying to get Wyandotte to go off sides. They send both they have 3 running backs back there. And they're just going to go ahead and take a timeout. So smart by, trying to kind of keep Wyandotte honest, but let's see if they come back out here and decide to punt it, which they more than likely will.
George, we've kind of seen it all during this game. Some fortunate things, some very unfortunate things for the Trenton football team. Again, our thoughts go out to the injured Trenton player. But we've seen turnovers. We've seen some excitement out of the Bears. Just haven't been able to capitalize.
So looks like the Trojans are going to punt here with 5:54 left. Back deep, looks like DeAndre Bell is going to be back deep for this. And Wyandotte is not able to get it high. Punt that is going to go into the end zone. And the Bears will take over at the 20-yard line with 5:46 left.
After airtime like that, rolling into the end zone was the best outcome that could have come out of that punt there. The hang time didn't afford DeAndre Bell any kind of return time. And as it rolls into the end zone, Bears will take over on their own 20-yard line with 5:46 left in the fourth quarter.
So the Bears come out here with a chance to see if they can make a little bit more of a dent in this 20-point lead, and Pente is going to air it out down the sideline, and that's going to be caught and brought in. Great grab by Chase Klein.
Beautiful catch by Chase Klein. He had a man all over him, and that was still able to bring that pass in, and the Bears now kind of knocking on the door.
You need a few more of those if you want to, get some more points on the board. Obviously, the clock stops, and I think he did go out of bounds on that play. So here he is, back to pass again, this time to the outside, and no go on that one over to Lou Peterson. And even if Lou would have caught that, it would have been a pretty difficult chance to hold on to it because he had two Trojan defenders right in his face. Coming up here at the 9:45 portion of the evening.
Way past your bedtime, Jordan.
I feel like, back in the day, Alan Allman's going to come out the witching hour now and talk about for all you people that are old enough like me to remember Pillow Talk in the late 80s on 100.3. And Pente scrambles, and he's going to be taken down.
That's a fumble.
And they're not going to call it a fumble, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. And I'm just curious to see if they're going to call possibly intentional grounding on this one, but they're not.
What a break for the Bears.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up here.
To give a big shout out to the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs. They celebrated their band Sweetheart, their tradition going on since 1953 here at Roosevelt High School. And they crowned their band Sweetheart and King Cutie at halftime. So congratulations to those students and congratulations to the Wyandotte Marching Chiefs.
Coming up on a 3rd down here and 10 at the 50. Pente back to pass again. This time doesn't have much time, and the ball comes out, and Trenton is going to get the ball at the 45-yard line. Pente was hit, and they're going to call as it gets a little bit chippy now, and they're trying to hold some of the players back on both sides. And again, we've seen a lot of chippiness here as the game has gotten into the 4th quarter. And we'll see what they're going to be calling here. You were mentioning the band earlier as we're sorting this out here. Mark D'Angelo does a great job every year getting the band prepared. They do awesome performances. They have their competition coming up. I believe is it tomorrow?
Yeah,
right?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow is their state competition that they prepare for all year.
Yeah, they have Clarkston this Saturday. Lakeland next Saturday, and then we travel to Ford Field for the state championship on November the 6th.
So it's a big next 3 weeks then for the marching Chiefs, and like I said, there's all variables that make up the school community, from the sports teams to the band, to the cheerleaders, and to the kids that come out here and support them too. So
that's right.
There's a lot of things that go into it, and the kids have, and that's the one thing I've been impressed with is I've traveled to even some of the road games. You've seen a lot of these kids that get out there, and they've done different themed student sections even on some of the road games as well. So, like I said, it's a well-rounded representation of the student body during the fall season for all the sports. So here we go. Trenton has the ball. 1st and 10 at the 25 after the unsportsmanlike penalty. 5:14 left in the 4th quarter. And here is a run up the middle by the Trojans, going to net them about 5 yards. Daryl Harper on the tackle there. I also want to make mention, too, and this just happened. I don't know if you saw some of the news talking about sports. We mentioned the tennis team earlier. One of our former teachers at Roosevelt High School and coach, John Garvey, had the tennis complex named in his honor last week or so. I got to know Mr. Garvey pretty well when I was working here back when I first started in 2001, and he's teaching, and he is one of the most caring, nicest gentlemen you could ever meet. Usually at every single game is a huge supporter of Wyandotte, and I could not think of a more well-deserving person to have the tennis complex named after himself. He coached for numerous years here, still came back and was working with the teams even after he retired. So congratulations to Mr. Garvey, well-deserved. If you're listening out there, I know everybody, has always spoke so highly of the things you've done for the school district.
That's right. They had a very nice presentation ceremony out there by the tennis courts in the Board of Education building, and it was very nice to see Mr. Garvey be honored in the way that he was.
So Wyandotte is able to stop them here on third down. Trenton cut right back to what they had before, a 4th and 1 with 3:25 left here in the fourth quarter. So Trenton letting it go down as far as they can, probably until they need to call a timeout.
Big shout out to our just cheerleaders down on the field. It's cold night, and they're sticking around. They're sticking in strong. So big shout out to the cheerleaders on the sideline. They've got their big competitive tryouts coming up pretty soon.
And I understand, when I read it this afternoon, we had our first snowfall in the state of Michigan earlier today.
Is
the
that
UP
right?
got their first snowfall. I don't think anything that stuck, but they did hint at it. I saw a little bit on, I'm a weather fanatic. I do watch the weather every morning, and they did show this afternoon some of those first snow that's going on. So it'll be here before you know it.
Luckily, though, in Michigan, we know how to drive in the snow. Other places, not so much.
Most of us do, I will say. And here we go as Trenton is ready to punt the ball. And the kick is away, and Bell will let it bounce, and he's going to let it go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So could be the last drive here of this game and possibly the season for the Bears. As at 2:46 left, they will take over down by 20.
Beautiful punt by the Trenton punter there. I mean, there's not much more you can say about this game that hasn't been said. It's just a tale of not being able to capitalize on some of the breaks that they had been given. We said early in this game, not a lot of positive breaks have went the Bears' way, and we did see a few here in this game, just not able to capitalize.
Yeah, and again, a lot of adversity. The last couple of years, obviously COVID and everything that was related to it last year. This year, some injuries that have faced the team. And transitioning some starters from the last few years they've had. Pente gets the ball off, and that ball is going to be fumbled, and it looks like Trenton is going to recover that fumble. So that might be it as far as offense for the Bears.
Definitely a season of up and downs, George. We've seen the Bears play really well on the road. Not as well here at home. Some good road games against Southgate, Edsel Ford, Lincoln Park. Was another great team, but kind of snake bitten here at home.
Yeah, so Trenton will come out here in the final 2:39 and probably just try to run the clock down like they have been for most of this fourth quarter. As Beaudry keeps it, he tries to get to the outside, and it's going to be taken down after a gain of about 7 yards.
Trojans with no timeouts left in the second half. Bears with one. As the Trojans taking their time calling the play out and getting everything ready. They're going to let this clock run down as much as they possibly can.
So a 2nd and 4 here. Trenton Beaudry is going to keep it again, carried up the field. He's going to get the first down as the clock continues to run here. Clock will stop on the first down and start up again as soon as the refs place the football.
I think we should take this time, George, to thank everyone at Wyandotte Cable for making us sound and look as good as we possibly can. And they've put in a lot of hard work all season long. So thank you to everyone at Wyandotte Cable for having me and George be able to bring you the Bears into your living room as we got some flags fly here at Roosevelt High School.
Yeah, you can't do that. That is definitely not a smart thing to do there if the quarterback is taking and they are getting.
He's being ejected.
Yep. That is not something you can do. And kind of going on to the point that you had mentioned as well, Kevin, Wyandotte Cable is one of the only locally operated cable companies, for a city, and they do a great job of, providing not just football, but just numerous programming for the city, and and the fact that a lot of it's being streamed now as well.
Absolutely.
They do a great job, and I don't know if they get enough credit for a lot of the programming that they do around here for us to be able to do this. So, this is just something that, we're appreciative for, to be a part of. I know I've been doing this now for a few years, and I know you came on board here in the last, year and a half. So, thank you to everybody down the truck and up top, filming this as well. Again, we couldn't do this and be here without them. They set up very early in the morning or in the early afternoon all day. We show up and we do our thing, but they do all the setup and the takedown for
That's
it.
Right.
So
that's right. And,
you hear us, but it's because of them.
That's right. And thank you again to everyone at Wyandotte Cable.
So as we wrap this up for the final home game, obviously we'll still see, depending on how the playoff rankings and everything shapes up here, the Bears could have a game, but we probably know for sure it won't be at home. So the final score of tonight's game is the Trojans come in to Trenton or to Wyandotte and basically seal their playoff fate by moving on into the Division III. The Bears will have to wait and see, but the final score tonight is 35-15. For myself and Kevin Wright, we would like to thank you for another season of bringing you Bear football. We hope that whatever the rest of the year and next year brings you, we hope that you are safe and healthy, and we will be back next year bringing you Bear football on Fridays here from Wyandotte. So take care for now. We'll see you soon.
And go Bears.